the vow.
Welcome to part 2. I thought I was muted for a second. To part 2 of Diane / Darya / AVG versus Witchy about Narcan. Should it be only given by healthcare professionals, or as Witchy really thinks, just let them die? That's a not really a spoiler because we're not watching part 1, but that's where we kind of left off. There's a bit of hiding the ball. We're moving into part 2 now to see if the arguments get better, worse, or stay the same, because it's a video I actually want to finish. AVG has done a stunning job, as I knew she would. And so if you want to join the panel and talk about the points, react to the debate, have a side conversation about Narcan or some other type of drug or whatever, as I'm sure will happen, you can click the link that's pinned at the top of the chat or in the description. It leads to the same place. If you think about it, good to see you, StreamYard, my ever faithful hosting platform. Good to see you, myself, my ever faithful me. Good to see you, K2. Good to see you, Testicular Johnson. Good to see you, Lobster. And Testy, I thought you watch every stream. You should. And if you missed one, you should go back and watch it till completion, okay? Fancy shirt, I like to think, makes me look very professional, but not new. But thanks for noticing. Nonetheless, we got 3 people in the back. We got Tyler, average Narcan enjoyer. Narcan is for quitters. That's the longest needle I've ever seen in my life. You could pierce through your whole arm with that thing. Holy shit. Good to see you, Tyler. Good to see you, Zill. Haven't seen Zill in a while. Heard you've been making it around, Zill. Good to see you, Big Soda. How you boys doing tonight?
Having a good one.
Oh, you got that Fuentes pose. I feel like I'm a trans person that you just pepper sprayed. Zill, what have you been up to? I've heard you've been I can't remember what panel you were on. Someone said you were on some panel fighting with people.
Yeah, I was doing that. I was doing that on Talcott's panel normally. And then it went to
Diane. It was VK.
Oh yeah, you were on VK, right? Like speakeasies, like verbal combat?
Yeah.
Confluence.
Yeah, I had a night there. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that was crazy.
I think you should shave your beard so you look like a complete lesbian. That flannel shirt really is doing it.
Shut the fuck up.
Your streaming money's really working out. He's getting all these fancy shirts.
Yeah, that's true.
I was hanging out with Ellen DeGeneres and Rachel Maddow yesterday.
I do actually. Now that you say that, I think I do look like a lesbian. Now I'm going to be thinking about that. I think it's because I trimmed my beard too much.
That means don't buy a Subaru.
As soon as you said that, that's all I can see is a fucking trans man. Fuck. God damn it. Well, whatever. It's 2026, okay, Tyler? Could be whatever I want to be.
You look like you've been on T for 15 years or more, okay?
Okay, well, that's good. At least I'm not a recent
Yeah.
trans man.
Yeah. There you go.
You
Yeah.
look like you would get stabbed in the chest at a track meet.
Damn it. Jeez.
Hey,
Trans
now,
man,
hey,
man,
now.
thank you for affirming my gender, Lobster. Okay, you know what? We're pulling up the debate. Fuck Tyler for bringing that up. It's too real. It's too real, man. It's too real.
You got
Okay,
your,
we were-
His confluence. Now he's Candace.
you got your
Don't shave
dopamine
the
monitor
beard.
on?
Yeah, well, I
you
don't
gotta
know. I
keep
mean,
that beard, bro. You got
that's
to.
what people say, but then I feel like I look older with the beard, But the
No,
problem is I
you-
look retarded without one, so it's a bit of a catch-22. Hey,
Before-
plus also hi Tampa.
Before we get started,
Something's
Confluence,
still
you got your dopamine monitor on?
Yeah, that shouldn't be going
Okay.
off tonight,
Okay.
hopefully, but because I have enough dopamine, so Well, I don't know if it goes off if I have too much or not enough. Probably both, really, because both are a problem. Yeah. All right, let me take off the intro. Let me load this up. So for those of you who didn't see, the prompt. What's the actual prompt so I can give it to you all? Okay, it's a bit long. Narcan should not be in the possession of or administered by anyone other than medical professionals. Understanding that, by that we mean nurses and doctors in clinical facilities. And AVG is taking the negative on that. She thinks Narcan, give it to everyone. Like she's one of those bleeding heart liberals. I'm just kidding. But that is her stance, which is also my stance. Just give it out. It's dirt cheap, saves lives, etc. AVG kind of went mask off in the last little bit. She started off by making like fiscal arguments, making like efficacy arguments, which comes down to the empirics, which I don't think are in her favor, but she's not here to defend herself. We will be doing an interview, as in by we, I mean I, will be doing an interview with Witchy at some point, because I want to pick her brain a few things, because she kind of went like full off, just let them die. It kind of, and I don't think I'm biasing this. I think this is what very clearly was said. I mean, she was even saying in chat that like she doesn't really even want it to be given by medical professionals, which kind of I think fucks up a bit of the prompting, because it started out by that's who should administer it, but then her real thoughts is kind of just like, don't give it. Even they shouldn't be giving it. Really, no one should be giving it. So that's
Honestly,
a stance that people can take.
Base Dolph Lundgren stance.
I mean, it's a. I just wish the prompt was that, because I feel like there was a lot of. I mean, it was a spirited debate, but there's a lot of time wasted of, I think, hiding the ball, because why talk about the economics of how much each dose costs, and like if ultimately, even if the economics were free, and which you would still say just let them die, then don't argue about the economics. There's no point arguing about that, right? Or if you don't care about the empirics, even if it does save lives, then why argue about that if you're just going to say like don't use it anyway? So there's a lot of stuff in the first half of this debate, which was a good debate. Like I enjoyed watching it, and I think Witchy did a fine job. I just think Diane did incredible. But that was to be expected, I think, on her end. But yeah, I felt like there's a lot of hiding the ball. But now that the mask has been kind of unveiled, hopefully we get more into the weeds of if we should let these people die or not. So, Karen, that's the topic of discussion. Alex, good to see you. How's it going?
It's about freaking time.
Alex used to be addicted to Narcan. A lot of people say you can't abuse Narcan. Alex would beg to differ. He was fucking using the inhalants. He was using like up both nostrils, fucking dual wielding Narcan. He had a problem.
It's not called Narcan for a reason.
Yeah,
That's true.
I didn't even use any of the drugs. I just like the Narcan.
Yeah. He would just he would like fake an overdose. He would like stop breathing in the hopes that some random person would stab him with Narcan. He'd be like, "Oh, that's the stuff."
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's how he gets his rocks.
Yeah,
A sick
I never
bastard.
can and I never will.
Hold on. A direct line into each arm, and then 2 sprays in your nose.
Oh,
Way to do it, man.
man! If you had more people or more arms, you could hit all the
Or more
limits. You're a fucking octopus. Holy shit!
You can.
So
Get
wait,
Narcan at everything.
Is Narcan a
Suppositories,
device
eye
that does
drops, exactly, Lobster.
Oh my!
it. Oh,
Is
yes,
Narcan-
you're right. Suppositories that would work well.
Is Narcan a
What?
controlled substance? Is that it? Is it a
It is-
controlled substance?
It is
You
not
can
actually.
control it.
You can, but yeah. In case anyone doesn't know, didn't see last time. So Narcan, it's not a drug you can abuse. Even though Alex says, Lord knows he's tried. You can't actually
That
abuse it. It's not like methadone. It's not like Suboxone, which are opioid replacements. It's if someone is overdosing on an opioid like morphine or heroin or something, you can take it in an intranasal. It goes up your nose, or in an auto injector similar to an EpiPen intramuscularly, and it will make the opioids that are binded to the opioid receptors unbind, and then the Narcan which is the brand name, naloxone is the actual drug name, will fill those receptors, causing the person to then stop the overdose and go into immediate withdrawal. And so it saves lives in that sense. And they give it out in a lot of places now. You can get it at pharmacies. The doctors will give it to you. You can get it at a lot of places.
You can get high.
I have to
from
say,
it?
like,
Is that it?
No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't get high off of it.
So you cannot abuse it.
Sounds like a challenge
Not
to me.
abuse it. You can't abuse it. There's no recreational effects. There's like basically no side effects unless maybe it's possible to be like allergic to it or something, you know. So there's
Would you give your child Narcan?
What's the debate here? What's the debate here then?
First, Alex, what?
There has to be like a minimum or a maximum amount of Narcan that would just kill someone.
See, that's what
We did, yeah, that's a big soda ask. I mean, is there an LD50? Probably. You'd probably have to like stab yourself with like 50 auto injectors at once or something. But yeah, there's probably, I mean, the dose determines the poison.
I know,
Yeah, it really is.
I'm just wondering what would kill you then. Like, what would
Darwinism.
cause that death?
Like, what if you LD50 Narcan? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever done it before, you know. But if you did, I'm not sure.
Could somebody want to look at this?
It's 7.5 gallons.
I mean, there's a dono goal that I will use 50. Yeah, you just get pure Narcan and start drinking it and just see what happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, Confluence, I feel like I got to point out one error that you made. I feel like if you're going into debt, taking Narcan, you may be abusing it.
Oh, well, that could be true.
Yeah.
If the Narcan is costing you, if the free Narcan is costing you so much, you're going to debt over it then, you know. If
you tell the Narcan, go ahead and leave, nobody will love you like I do, you are indeed abusing Narcan.
That's true. That's true. An abusive relationship. Well, that's the thing. I only said it's like an EpiPen in the sense that it's an auto injector. It doesn't have like epinephrine or anything like that. Oh, Ag has looked it up. He says there's no known lethal dose of Narcan. That's the thing. Like, maybe in the sense that, there's a lethal dose of water where you can get like water intoxication, your brain cells swell and then you die. Like maybe there's some theoretical amount, but it's not. Yeah, I don't think anyone has ever overdosed on Narcan.
Would you give Narcan to an infant?
If the infant was overdosing, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
No, just general, because there's no side effects or whatever. Would you just give it? Here, baby, have some Narcan. Would you do that?
No.
Well, no, I don't think I'd give anything to an infant. Not food, not water.
Well, then you don't trust it as much as you say you do, okay?
Wait. Do you give everything you trust to infants? That's using your logic? Do you give everything you trust to infants?
I would take a 5G router and hold it next to my infant's head because I trust the internet that much.
Oh, I wouldn't. That's crazy. He'll get like COVID and something. That's a joke for legal reasons. An infant should. Well, unfortunately, not to be a downer, but unfortunately, this does happen, especially with stuff like fentanyl and stuff, because it's so powerful that even like residue and stuff. If you're like a baby and you're in like a drug addict's home or something, and you touch some fentanyl or what, like it. Unfortunately, infants do. So they shouldn't. I mean, I agree. They should never need it. I agree with Egg, of course, but unfortunately, they sadly do sometimes. That's not a fun thing to think about, though, if you think about it. So my dopamine meter's about to go off. Okay, I got too real.
Egg, I'm not saying that the infant would need it. I'm saying if it has no downsides to it, it's just this thing that anyone can take, and it's not bad at all. Would you give it to an infant? And if no, then it's probably a little worse than you're suggesting.
Download this for me.
Narcan? You can't 3D print it.
What's
that
the
logic?
Would you download a Narcan?
No, download, not download.
What? Download?
What's the argument against Narcan as a thing?
It's a waste of taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, that was one. What her real argument is just let them die, but her argument was if I'm to steel man it, it's what? Well, the thing I said before that she eventually said, although she really hit on it, that possibly if you're in possession of Narcan because you know it can like bring you back from an overdose, and people are using opioids might try to OPA max close to the sun, right? Because they're trying to get as high as possible. They might be like, oh, I can do this, so I'll even use more drugs than when I was before because, hey, my friend has Narcan, he can bring me back, so I'm not going to die. So that's a possible argument.
Is that how it works, though? Do people
that is how
opioids care about the lethal dose?
I mean, obviously it depends on the addict, but I mean, in general, probably like a lot of them.
I sincerely doubt that they're like sitting there thinking, okay, I can handle exactly.
No, they kind of are. Like they kind of, otherwise they'd be dying like way more often. Like they kind of do try to like.
What limits them is how much they can afford to buy.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
What do you mean?
No, this is about saving lives, y'all.
Wasting it on like
that's what this is about.
Wasting it on a high.
Are those lives worth saving?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you, I understand if you have like an insane tolerance, but like if you give an opioid addict like 2 grams of heroin, they're not going to put 2 grams in a syringe and shoot it. They're not that retarded. You know what I mean? They're retarded often, but.
I was throwing out like a random looking.
They're going to know exactly how much they need to do and how to pace it out.
Yeah, because they want the most bang for their buck.
How many shacks? That's 20 shacks that you're talking right there. 2 grams?
The
We're breaking that down into 20 doses, baby. Maybe like 18. Maybe the last couple you're doing like 1.5, let's be honest.
Yeah. You're emptying out the bag, putting some water in it.
I mean,
you're licking it out, licking the wax paper to get that cat piss taste in your mouth one more time. Yeah, I know.
Whoa. So good. Look, RFK.
I got a little real there, huh?
RFK used to do
heroin.
Okay. RFK used to do heroin. Now he's in charge of shit. So
see, don't let your dreams be memes, kids. But yeah, I would say to answer Alex, those were kind of the strongest arguments. Yeah, the financial cost, as Tyler mentioned, although it's really not that much, but it is still something. And kind of just does this actually work? Which again, I don't know. I don't want to like destroy the arguments as I'm saying them, but like she was trying to say like even people who are brought back with Narcan, most of them don't end up recovering and stuff. But then the obvious answer is like, well, there's some survivorship bias. If you don't use Narcan on someone, they don't have a chance to recover because they're dead now. And so if you look at stats of like even if 1% of people are brought back with Narcan,
every person in Narcan that does come back, that's a person who wouldn't have otherwise survived it. So
exactly. So to pull up like stats about like only 10% of people Narcan back end up getting clean. It's like if you didn't bring them back, it would be 0% of the people because they'd be dead. So I mean,
what's the taxpayer cost for this?
So it ends up being. So that's what I was said the wrong name. That's what Diane was saying. But then she corrected it. No, she did correct it. It is more than that. It ends up being, I think she said, like 50 to, or was it? What was it? 25 to 50 or something per unit on average. If it's not the brand name, because it comes with an auto injector and stuff. I'm assuming the intranasal stuff is cheaper. Okay. And then it's a little more than. And she admitted this. She said in the debate that she got her like stats mixed up a bit. So because she says it's $1 on average per taxpayer per year for all of the Narcan. It ends up being more than that. But the counter, again, as I brought up, I can't remember if AVG brought this up, but because the whole thing is that Witchy wants it to be administered by healthcare professionals, which means EMS showing up to administer Narcan as opposed to your friendly neighborhood junkie who happens to have Narcan on him. Well, and I was saying, what's the cost of an ambulance plus like the people driving it and EMTs and all this stuff? What's the cost of that total? If you could save one of those because one guy has Narcan, some fucking junkie, and he can stab and bring the friend back so they don't have to call 911. If that happens once out of probably 500 Narcan doses, that probably saves money in the net, right? Because the ambulance, all the salaries, like the amount of money would just be insane.
That might be a defeater argument for this.
If this is true, this isn't in. Maybe it varies by country. In Canada, I know the auto injector is still in place, but that could be different. And it might vary by state too. I don't know. Oxycat is a pharmacist, by the way.
Because think about it.
She has personally abused Narcan.
How much is Narcan?
So it's free unless you're asking about the taxpayer burden and stuff. But in most places, it ends up being it's 25 to 50 a unit from what AVG said. In the debate, she says a cheaper number, but she said that she was a bit mistaken. It ends up being I think if I'm going off memory, she said 25 to 50.
So
that's
how much
per
is
unit, but it's how much per taxpayer is the question.
At least it's
right. That's the question. Right, it's about $1,500,
$2,000, $3,000.
Right.
Yeah, it has to be a 10,000 plus increase, I would assume.
Right, so it's if you could have one person that for every like however many ambulance rides and trips to the ER, and then you're probably on fucking IV and you're probably monitored by like the total cost, especially because these people are probably not paying for it, right? If you're like some junkie on the street, you probably are like footing this bill. So, you know, I actually have administered to someone and then nearly got beat up for stealing their high. Yeah, I mean, that's facts. Because that's the other thing I'll say before we start this. When you take it, which is a potential argument, you enter something called precipitated withdrawal. For the people last time, I'm repeating myself, but just want to make it clear. And so because it takes all the opiates away, but if you're opiate dependent, then of course you're going to be going through like full withdrawal, and then you don't even know that you necessarily died. You just like wake up and you're in horrible withdrawal, and you're like, you think you're just having the high of your life, as opposed to, you know, not breathing and almost dying and stuff like that. So they oftentimes get aggressive. They oftentimes, you know, will try to use more, everything that you would think a withdrawing opioid addict would do. But yeah, so I feel like that's enough context, and we will dive in. Oh, and we have one final contender. It's slavery. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good.
Do you get a haircut?
Did we bring slavery back?
Look at that, looking good, Avery. Looking suave.
We should.
We did bring slavery back. No. That's true. We fucking just did.
SL Avery.
SL Avery. All right, here we go. So I went back in time a little bit just so we could get caught up, only about 30 seconds. We're kind of joining, you know, in medias res or whatever that phrase is. We're kind of jumping into the action because we stopped at roughly the halfway point. So, but we'll figure it out. Okay. Yeah. We're a bunch of smart gentlemen on this panel.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
I think they're in the middle of... Yeah, they're like looking up stats or something. Both of them suck at looking up fucking stats, okay? Even AVG.
Okay, this is
a great fucking debate so far.
Who's that broadcasting from the doomsday
That's the
bunker?
direct cost. I know the direct cost is something around like
which one?
It's a bit higher, but like the cost because the government buys it in bulk. Yeah, this might be from Canada. Maybe it's different there. Do you know what the price is in the
Pull your
States?
finger out. Come on.
So I do have some information. I found the one I was looking for earlier. I'm just going to open that real quick and we'll pull it up in a minute. But I do have some information on how much our government appropriates to combat the opioid epidemic, but I don't have... I could have swore I put
get it together, ladies.
How much they were overcharging states and up to $400 a dose at the hospitals.
See, again, none of this matters. I hope AVG just goes into the actual stuff that she said, because they're like quibbling over stuff which she doesn't really care about at the end of the day.
On the opioid crisis in the last 10 years, but that doesn't include, that's outside of the Narcan. And I thought I had shared the link there that gave the numbers for the Narcan, but I'm not finding it. I might be able to pull it up in a minute, but I did want to show you, this is a Columbia University Department of Psychiatry study that shows only 1% of opioid users are recovering based on statistical analysis.
Man, what the hell?
Well, obviously, I feel like we talked about this.
Okay, we can like tolerate that first, and then
1% of opioid users
and I'll see if I can find you the exact. I know it costs. It's like something in.
It is dismal. I don't know if it's quite that bad, but I was saying that from what I remember, this is a long time ago I read this, that's like the average like opioid addict relapses like 12 times before in their life. So it's a very dismal thing, but that has nothing to do with the Narcan. Like these are completely separate issues to me. Like, you know, like it's like Witchy was also bringing up the incidence of like new people becoming addicts. And it's like, no one is becoming a new addict because of Narcan. No one's sitting there being like, there's Narcan available, I'm going to start shooting heroin. Right. So it's like bringing up the talk about the number of addicts, right? Like none of that matters. The only thing we should be focusing on is like overdoses per capita of opioid addicts. That's what we should be looking at. Not overdoses in total, because obviously more people are turning to opioids. There's a lot of stuff going on, but yeah. And yes, subscribe. This is AVG's channel. Subscribe to her and super chat to me, okay, for doing an amazing debate review. Okay, make it. Shout out the channel. Yeah. So also subscribe to my channel as well if you're not. Obviously, that goes without saying, but I should say that more. Good to see you, Ghost.
Narcan is for quitters. Oh my god.
Hell yeah, brother.
Broken down per taxpayer is.
We do have similar crab eyes, Testy. Also, good to see you.
It's
biased moderator. Well, I'm not moderator. I'm just reviewing. Okay.
To save your neighbor, right? Who might save your life someday. You never know.
Testy, you should join the panel. Also, I got so mad at Testy today. I got home and I was like, I'm gonna choose violence. I'm just gonna go after Testinger Johnson just for the hell of it.
A fucking meme would send the Discord into a fucking uproar, dude. Holy shit!
I saw Tyler have so much fun fighting for like 8 hours, and I'm like, I need to do this too. Where's my fight?
It's a game of time. I love arguing on the internet.
Because everyone on the internet sucks at arguing.
I expected some back and forth.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, you picked a very passionate topic, okay?
I did.
We'll save that topic because otherwise, we'll get into it again. But.
If I want to lose an argument, I'll pull up fucking Claude, all right? Because I never win against the AI. But it's for the internet's fun because everyone's stupid and emotional. You can just kind of pick at them.
I don't know, Tyler. You were seeming pretty emotional that one day. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay?
Yeah, that one day, one time. And the people they were there too that one time, that one day.
Nope, that's just you.
Ghost says handing out Narcan like candy only perpetuates the problem. You would have to really explain that, Ghost, because that's an easy thing to say, but what does it perpetuate?
Well, they were handing out Narcan on Halloween on my street.
So fuck it, they're just gonna do it anyways. And then if they they have Narcan.
That's the only argument I can see.
Done it because they didn't have Narcan.
That's what I mean. No, yeah, the answer to that is a definite no. There's no junkie that's like, I'm not using heroin because I forgot my Narcan at home, so I'm gonna wait.
Shit.
No, said no one fucking ever.
It might increase the usage, but not by a whole lot.
You got to bring a condom and a Narcan.
No, I don't think anyone's started using. Do you really think there's any significant?
No. What I'm saying.
Testy says, "I accept your apology, Tyler." Thank you, Testy, for the $2.
What I'm saying is that maybe some people have chosen to use more because they know that they have Narcan. I don't think it's huge, but I think there's a little percentage there. I don't know.
I mean, I can see stupid doing that.
There is. Again, the only argument I think that I've thought of or heard that is possibly true is maybe you'll use more because you'll have less fear. You're going to use anyway. No one's becoming a new addict. And Ghost, why I think this analogy I don't think works is people jumping out of parachutes are not if you're shooting heroin or something, your life is not going in the best direction. Probably you're not maybe thinking clearly. You're not making the best decisions. So I don't know if you can compare it to jumping out of parachutes. Also, if you don't if you don't use a parachute, you will die. You can use heroin without dying. So you know what I mean? So it's it's not really analogous. It's an extra step of safety, Narcan, right? Whereas the parachute, if you don't have a parachute and you jump out of a plane, you're just going to die.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So that's where I think tell me if you think I'm wrong, but that's where I don't think that analogy works. Because Narcan, you don't need Narcan. Plenty of junkies use heroin for years and never need Narcan, never overdose. If you jump out of a parachute, if you jump out of a plane one time without a parachute, you're just dead.
Plenty of non-junkies use heroin too. Okay.
Yeah, people chip. People chip.
You don't have to be a junkie to use heroin, all right? Get the fuck out of here with that slander and libel. I'm gonna Ethan Klein the fuck out of you.
Yeah,
that is true.
The occasional daily heroin user doesn't need to be a junkie. Right?
Yeah, we can dabble. I can dabble into my dope and not become a
daily user.
Yeah.
Now listen, I'll just take half my Narcan and ride the wave. Get out of my way.
Yeah,
okay?
I can imagine some kids who are just experimenting or fucking around and realizing they have it and then choosing to abuse it. But
10 years I did that shit, was never addicted.
Oh, good.
I'm not fucking with you. Yeah, I know a lot of people that weren't either. I know a lot of people that were.
Did it become an addiction at some point, or
no? Never once. I never did it more than 2 days, 3 days in a row. Yeah.
Wow.
How is that not an addiction?
Because it's the velocity. It doesn't matter the time frame. What if it's 4 times over 10 years? You know, like you need to. There's more information.
How often? Hold on. Let's backtrack.
I'm critiquing his lack of information based off his conclusion.
Let's backtrack a little bit. How often per week?
Huh?
How often per week over the course of 10 years?
No, it wasn't. Sometimes it wasn't even weekly. Sometimes it was multiple times a week. It depended on how much money I had. I went to restaurants at the time.
How about monthly?
Well,
drugs are rampant in restaurants.
4 or 5 times.
Sounds a
4
little
or
bit
5
like an
times a
addiction.
month for 10 years.
Yeah.
You just weren't. Hold on. You just weren't as severely addicted as others.
No, I usually
10 years is a long fucking time, bro. You have to.
Tyler.
That's like saying every college student's an alcoholic, bro. Like people would.
No, that's fair.
When you're in college, yeah.
I was in my late 20s. I was in my late teens, early 20s.
Well, it was 10 years, so it couldn't. That might be when it started, but then it went into your 30s or late 20s. But
16 to 25, roughly.
Did you ever experience withdrawal at any point in that period?
Slight a couple of times, and I was like, "Oh shit, I need to dial it back because that's no good." Never anything.
Okay.
I could never not get out of bed without a high.
So wait, so if I can ask, why not still chip? Why'd you stop?
I'm married.
So
my wife does not like that, and I have to spend my money responsibly.
Hey, listen, Sky, it's just like alcohol. If I want to sniff some dope, what's the difference between that and a beer?
No, it's more the opportunity cost of the money I would be spending on something very expensive, especially now that, and also really the thing that scared me is that fentanyls and everything. The last time I did I went to New York, we got a bundle just to celebrate old times. It was tasted so bad. It was all fentanyl-y. I never want to finish it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Stay safe, man. Yeah. It's crazy that's out there like that. Like, people are getting hurt, and
you just got to switch to pain pills, Tyler. Except, I mean, half of those are like fake pill presses and.
It's so hard to prescribe them.
Fentanyl in a pill.
Confluence.
Yeah, that's the problem. Hey, Kirk.
Have you ever heard of?
Was laced with fentanyl.
Jesus Christ, Kirk.
Where I was at, and people were dropping dead at fucking like concerts and shit.
But it used to be that like the weird shaped pills were like harder to get the press. Like some things are more like octagonal shaped, but now even those, like they have pill presses for everything. So you even can't even trust a pill anymore.
You can tell, like when you put a pill in a straw, bend the straw and then bite down so you can crush it up to toot it, you can tell if it's fucking.
And you say you're not an addict.
Just because I'm a master at every craft that's like saying I'm a video game addict because I'm good at video games. I only play like.
Just because I'm good at boofing oxycodone doesn't mean I'm addicted to it.
I have a question.
You guys are being judgy. You're like a bunch of housewives.
No, it's okay.
I get you. I mean, if you truly were, using it in small quantities, your tolerance wasn't increasing, you weren't fiending for it, all the classic signs of addiction, then I can accept it. If that's true, if you're being for real,
Confluence.
100%.
He's trying to toot that.
A Kirky Goy.
Have you ever heard of the drug dealer Seymour Butts?
Wow, that's a great, not as good as your peeping Tom joke, Kirk, I will say.
I need to switch my account so I can pay to mute him.
Please do. After that joke from Futurama, like fucking 30 years ago, Kirk. Probably even before that, but
that was from The Simpsons.
I remember that was the start of Futurama. I mean, I could have been in both, I suppose. It probably was.
No, it definitely was.
At least I think. Isn't that when Fry goes into the cryogenic thing? Does he get the pizza? Or is that a different joke? Because he ends up, it's like a fake name on the pizza box, but I could be wrong.
It's Icy
No, it was
Wiener.
definitely The Simpsons.
Yeah, it's Icy Wiener.
It was Icy Wiener. Right. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Kirk,
I'm wrong.
Kirk, I have a question for you, Kirk.
I knew you did.
Yeah. Why do seagulls fly over the sea?
Don't.
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels.
That's funnier than your joke, Kirk, okay? I hate to say it, but,
That's not really that funny.
Well, neither is Seymour Butts if you think about it.
I was trying to say...
we didn't think Peeping Tom was funny, and now that's one of your tight 5, Kirk. So, I mean, You
Give
never
it
you can
time.
never tell with a Kirk joke. You just gotta you gotta let it fucking mellow for a bit.
I don't think it should be done away with. I don't think that we should be like getting rid of naloxone and not using it. I just don't think we should.
That's what you just said before, Witchy, and then that's what you said in the channel. Testy's trying to trigger me. Don't threaten me with a good time. Free Carmelo, absolutely not. Testy was saying in the Discord. This is a true story. He said, and I quote, "If Carmelo was white, I would want him to do life in prison." And I said, "Do you really mean that?" And he said, 10 toes down. And I said, "You don't mean 10 toes down." He said, "No, 10 toes down. In fact, 11 toes down." I was like, "That's crazy." And now he's free Luigi, unless you mean like Mario and Luigi, you know.
Your worldview is rooted in white supremacy. If you don't think that was self-defense, it's because black people really don't like water. It was raining outside, and forcing him to go out in the rain would have washed off his melanin and made him white. So he couldn't have done it.
Can I read your DM that you sent me, Tyler? I think it really highlights it.
I think this conviction. I think this conviction.
Shut up for a second, Kirk. Shut up for a second. I gotta read. This is a very important DM that I got from Tyler today. So you're not gonna do anything about the lynching of Carmelo Anthony, an innocent black baby angel who's just trying to get out of the rain because water is poisonous to black people, and these white supremacists didn't even know that. These white supremacists made up their own rules about tents and pick their own authority of a student to enforce made-up rules that would have caused proud black man to be tortured by the environment. His poor boy was just looking for shelter, and he stumbled into a white supremacist tent that would not allow him there for just a few minutes of respite. # justice for Mello.
Justice for Mello!
Wow.
I'm just glad that there's this symbolic victory for the white man.
Wow.
That's
crazy,
Kirk.
How's that crazy?
The white national authority.
Kirk.
I can't be around this. I'm gonna see.
See, you gotta be like funny with your like racism. You can't be like for real with your racism. Then it's like a little untoward.
How you agree?
You chased off Zill, so I guess that's maybe a good thing. Maybe a double.
You agreed. I thought you agreed that Carmelo. I thought you agreed that Carmelo deserved that.
Yeah, but not because it's a victory for the white race. I mean, that's the joke part. That's not the for real part. Like, I'll say it as a joke, but that's not for real. Testy's abolished ice. He's just hitting all the classics. Free Carmelo, free Luigi, abolished ice. Wow, pick your poison. Thank you, Testy.
What makes you think I'm being serious?
Testy, get up here and fucking defend yourself.
The problem is, Kirk, I think you have this issue called profound autism, where it's like you don't necessarily know how to make it clear or obvious when you're being deadpan or making a joke. So you could be joking, but notice how most people on the panel didn't take it as a joke. That would be like a common denominator thing, where maybe it's your delivery of something is either like not obvious that you're deadpan, or maybe you're too deadpan all the time. The deadpan doesn't hold. There's like something there, right? If like most people are like, "Whoa, Kirk, you took it too far," right? That's something to just take under advisement. Think about it, and But I'm glad you're not being serious. But it's a delivery thing, Kirk. If it was a joke,
yeah, Kirk, it's all about the tone of your voice and then the build up to the joke. That was just like you making a statement. It wasn't even a joke.
And even a statement could be funny. The statement.
Hey, we were all 18 once, Chief. We were all 18 once. Okay.
It has to be funny too, Kirk. Like, you can make a statement that it just has to be like something preposterous or like maybe well timed or completely out of place. Like, I've gotten sometimes you throw an Epstein did nothing wrong in there, and it's fucking hilarious. It just has to be well timed.
Yeah. It's all about timing, delivery, and again, your normal demeanor, right? And Keelan was good at this, where he is like a lot of times deadpan, but there would be an uncanny valley where he could get away with like saying really deadpan stuff, and it would be like funny. But like Kirk, it's very difficult to separate anything with what you're saying. That's the problem. It's not really a time. There's no timing. There's no, these are all just notes to help you out. Okay, Kirk.
But
some comedy
compliments. So this debate is about Narcan and whether we should allow it, right?
Well, specifically, whether it should only be administered and owned, I guess, by healthcare professionals.
And so average female debaters taking the no, and what she's saying yes.
Yeah.
Well, so part of it is. So did you say that you're familiar with like Isaiah Berlin idea of like two concepts of liberty?
No, I don't think we ever talked about this.
So basically, the idea is that there's positive liberty and negative liberty. Positive liberty is liberty to do something, and negative liberty is freedom from interference. And he argues that historically, authoritarianism like socialism and fascism relies on a positive conception of liberty by saying that they're going to guarantee like a positive,
God damn, Kirk! It always goes back to this. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm worried you gotta land the plane. I feel like you're trying to take this and segue us off a fucking cliff. Like the
the concept at Google today.
Let's give Kirk. Is there a plane landing, or are you doing it right and you're trying to segue us into a totally different topic?
No, so the plane landing is that the positive liberty can lead to authoritarianism, so we should prioritize negative liberty, and one negative liberty we should prioritize is bodily autonomy, including the freedom to administer Narcan.
Okay. Okay,
that's Kirk, I cut you off.
Should have said that to begin with.
Yeah, I don't know if you needed that like 60-second build-up, but that's fine. We'll allow it. Okay,
I do have a question. Have we asked the licensed drug dealer in chat what her opinion is on this?
Oxymorphone?
Come on.
She's a woman. Why would we ask her?
I think Oxy, I guess I don't know if I asked directly. I kind of just got the vibe and kind of assumed because Oxy's a good person.
She is affirmative.
She's fine with yeah. Oxy, if you're there, what do you think? She's talking about door dashing some Narcan, okay? Ignore the laughing till I'm crying emoji, okay? That's what she wants. That's the world Oxymorphone Cat wants.
Honestly, when I heard that, it made my teeth grind. It's like ordering a taxi cab for the junkies Narcan actually puts me on the lady. It looks like she works at a fucking hardware store. I'm on her side now.
Babe, I was on her side to begin with.
The lady that looks like she works. She looks like she works at Home Depot. Holy shit!
She does.
It is like weirdly accurate. That is weirdly accurate, but I don't know what that means. I know what it means, but I don't know why it's so accurate.
To keep getting high all the time.
But it's not. It doesn't. It's not a get out of jail free card. It's just. It's helping them stay alive so that they can get treatment, and yeah, maybe they're going to use again.
See, this is what I fucking love about AVG. I don't know if she's going to go down a bad path because I'm worried because the ortho bros sometimes do, but she's an ortho cis, so maybe that female empathy will help her. There's been times when I've been like surprised by her view, and she's like, "Of course I feel this way. I'm a Christian," and I'm like, "Fucking based," because like a lot of times, I'm not calling anyone out specifically. I don't even have anyone specific in mind. Well, I have some people in mind, I guess, but sometimes you talk to people that are like super orthodox, and they'll like say stuff that just feels like incredibly crazy. But I like that Diane still has like a sense of like, this is insane. Like and she even calls out Witchy because Witchy says she used to be a former addict. She was a heroin baby. Then she was an alcoholic as an adult. She says in the debate, I'm not revealing anything, obviously personal. Wouldn't have anything to reveal, but, yeah, it's like, I like that Diane is like still orthodox, but not in the usual orthodox direction that seems to like lack all sense of empathy. Not calling out the orthodox, but there's just some people online are like that. Okay, some people online, and Pages or AVG has not gone down that rabbit hole. So I just wanted to say I appreciate that. Okay, thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
I can't tell you that they're never going to use because they have naloxone. There's no like double effect of naloxone that once you do it, it makes you no longer want to do heroin or Fent or Carfent or whatever you're on, right? Or even sometimes, like I said, it can be completely accidental. We know that they put these types of opioids in other street level drugs, right?
Right.
So it's not always like you're painting this image of this person is doing like a Fent walk or whatever every Tuesday near a playground, but they're just this second-rate citizen that we ought not say. But like that's just simply not the reality. This is a crisis that affects everybody. Almost everyone knows somebody who's had a battle with opioids, be it through prescription or just their own recreational usage, unintentionally or intentionally. And these people,
the families of those people have left them out on the streets. And if their own families can't get them to come together and do something about actual recovery, like, what are we going to do? What you give them the Narcan and then what? What's the point of giving
Holy
them the
shit.
Narcan if we're just bringing them back to continue the cycle over and over again? Tell me what
a
the
fair
point is. You think
question.
if we just save one of them, it's worth it?
It's not a fair question because obviously it's not like AVG is just like, no, my only answer to this problem is Narcan. I don't believe in any type of rehabilitation. I don't believe in any possible thing after that. We should just endlessly supply them with Narcan. Obviously that's not what she thinks. So like the Narcan is to like save the life in the moment, and then you can fill in the blank with X, right? And there's a lot of things you can fill in the blank, and I don't know why Witchy thinks there's going to be nothing that AVG is about to say besides, no, we just save them and there's no possible prescriptions at all. This is what AVG is going to say. We're just going to let them live or whatever.
Yeah,
like, I don't like this is such a Witchy's like setting up AVG for like any type of dunk she could possibly want. It's like a choose your own fucking adventure where she always wins.
But that's because she's making the argument in a bad way. This is utilitarianism, essentially, that she's arguing. Like, it's probably better off for society to just let these motherfuckers die off. Because
but
that's
then
what,
say that, right? But that's not what she's saying. In fact, I don't even think she's saying that with just like in like a less like academic sense, because she's saying like, what do we do with these people after that? How do we get them clean? Her own family doesn't want to get them, but like that's why I think her argument would be stronger to just go full like Darwinism, full just like, hey, society would be better, just let them die. I don't think it's a good ethical argument,
Tyler,
but from
what
an
I hear
argument
from
point
you
of
is
view,
all drugs should be legal.
No, I don't. I think they should. I want to legislate morality, and I think allowing drugs to be legal is probably worse off in the long run.
I think we should legalize all drugs, but just control them. Okay, but that's maybe a side tangent.
Portugal may prove the world wrong with their legalized drugs and seeing rates drop, but
they didn't legalize drugs, to be clear.
Okay, well, with their experiment to decriminalize.
Yeah, they decriminalized, which is very. This is a long time ago. They decriminalized like possession amounts of substances, so you can't like buy them. You can't. It's not like you can get them pure or anything, but it just if you happen to have, in the same way that Vancouver tried to do this, where if you have a small amount of possession, they're not going to you can't get a charge for it, and it has had good effects. But there's I think it's a half stand. As I talked about this last time, I think it would be better to just make it like fully legal, but make it still like heavily controlled and regulated. Because then you would get pure stuff. Because the problem is with decriminalizing stuff, you don't get rid of the fentanyl. That's always going to exist. The only way to get rid of the fent and stuff is to make it legal, so you can go to a doctor and get like oxycodone. Because then no one's going to pick oxycodone mixed with fucking fentanyl.
Damn,
pure fentanyl if they want.
Drugs better.
I mean,
in some ways, make drugs great again. Okay, fucking 10 toes down on that. I want Tyler to be able to chip heroin in peace without having to worry about the pesky fentanyl. Can I get an amen?
God bless America.
Yeah, I think if we can save one life, if we can get one person to treatment and maybe they find God too in the process, I think that's amazing. I would love to see that happen. And you might say, well, it's not as effective as I would like, but your alternative is death. And I don't think that these people deserve to die because you've labeled them like unredeemable just for virtue of having done opioids even once. I got people in my chat saying, I've been clean and sober 7 years.
That's probably the best argument.
I'm a recovering addict. There's like tons of people in my chat that are saying, this has happened to me. I am proof that this works. And I wonder if they didn't have Narcan, if they would still be alive today. I don't think so.
I was thinking this last.
Oh, you're muted.
Literally just thinking that.
You're muted, Witchy.
Yeah,
this is the strongest argument yet. This is her fucking kill shot. Holy shit, she's cooking.
Look at it. Look at that
anymore. It's increasing since Narcan was.
Oh God, this has already been refuted.
Article here, and I have the quote.
So Witchy did this just to fill in for people who didn't see last time. She keeps doing this thing saying like, since Narcan was like readily available, overdoses have gone up and opioid use has gone up. Which of course, because we're in an opioid epidemic, and so all of these numbers are going up. The Narcan is a response. She seems to be attributing some causal link between the introduction of Narcan into like the general populace and the opioid crisis going up. Which I think is crazy. We see the same thing with all like types of like drug treatments. They're like, hey, you added a methadone clinic, and we've seen more opiate deaths. And it's like, yeah, because why do you think they added the methadone clinic? Because a bunch of people were using opioids. So obviously these things are just like happening at the same time. she hasn't established that causal link, of course. And so we end up in the same position we are before, which you just overdosed on the mute button. And yeah, this is true. Just because the fire is spread doesn't mean you shouldn't pour water on it. Yeah, that's what I mean. She's almost like attributing the Narcan to like fueling the fire, where it's like, obviously the opioid epidemic is out of control. Narcan's not alone going to solve the problem, right? And no one would claim it would, especially not AVG, right? But it's like, yeah, it's one way to try to mitigate the overdose deaths that are happening, right? It's not going to solve the number of people turning to opioids. It's not going to like completely reverse the overdose rates. That's why you have to look at like overdoses per capita of people abusing opioids, not of the general population, right? It has to be that specific number. That's what you should care about if you're trying to be honest.
But I don't have the right article. Since Narcan was released actively to this population out in the streets who are getting high and overdosing on a regular basis to be administered by themselves, we have seen an increase.
Unironically, that's my answer to it.
Addicted people and an increase in the number of people who die from overdose. So where are the people you're saving with this? The people you're saving eventually are dying of overdose, are staying as long-term users. That's why the numbers increase.
So 2 things on that.
That's
Number
just,
one,
like,
that
statistically,
number
it
could
doesn't
be
make
linked
any
to other
sense.
things. It doesn't necessarily mean it's due to Narcan. It could also be due to the fact that, like I said, there's opioids and more street level drugs than ever. Opioids are more potent and more prescribed than ever. The other consideration with respect to, you know, your assertions on their recovery is like I said, we can't get them recovered if they don't actually have access to the life-saving medication, unless you have something else for me, unless you have a different medication that they can use, then great. But the problem is, like, there's no direct link between Narcan and the increased amount of overdose. It's just a reality. There's an opioid crisis. And this is right now, this is the only solution that I know of that gets them to a hospital, that gets them the treatment that they need. If you can prove to me that somebody doing Narcan makes them more likely to not recover, and that for some reason every single person who uses Narcan goes on to live a terrible and short rest of their existence hooked on opioids, then I still think that it's worth distributing, particularly because the cost is so low.
How much is Narcan?
So we talked about this. Ends up, I think, being, if I'm remembering right, between like $25 to $50 per dose.
That's a lot.
It is more than I expected. I don't know. Now, this is what AVG told me in chat last time, because she quotes a different number in the video that we're watching. But it seems to depend, I think, also on if it's like the EpiPen version, like the IM thing, or the intranasal. Because the drug itself, naloxone, I think is very cheap. So I have to think that a lot of this cost is coming from the auto injector.
Less than $50 for a twin pack. That's the nasal, so $25 for 2 doses.
Okay. And then maybe
that's on GoodRx.
Yeah, it's not a lot to save you from dying. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, when you put it that way.
Again, when I like I said, with the cost of an ambulance, because again, the prompt of this debate, if we're thinking who did better, right, is like, Witchy thinks it should only be like EMTs and like hospital staff. It's like, well, then one fucking ambulance for someone to come, Narcan you, bring you to the hospital, do all this shit, versus your friend, $25 using an auto injector. Like, it's just like incomparable.
Yeah,
the cost isn't as
fair.
Oh yeah, and also, I wanted to address this. This entire paradigm is arguing for bailing water instead of plugging holes. We aren't even allowed to acknowledge holes exist. I agree with you, but I also think part of it is bailing water. If your boat is flooding and you have holes, maybe it's good to like bail some water and try to plug the holes. You know, like sometimes you have to like address the top of the crisis and also the root level. And I agree with you that we don't address the root level enough. And I don't even think you would maybe disagree with me on what I'm saying, that I think we should do both. So right now we have this whole thing called an opioid crisis, and I think it's happening for a number of reasons. One of the chief ones is, what you said. I think the crisis of meaning and purpose and all this stuff. I think that's a very real thing. But we still have like this top layer of like a bunch of people are overdosing. How do we deal with that? And then how do we get to the root of the problem? And I think it's fine to like, I understand, the critique of if we're just dealing with this top layer and we never get to the bottom, but you also have to very much deal with this. And the same way with people that have like suicidality and stuff. It's like, I think it's fine to have like psychiatric care for someone who's like about to like, do the game end themselves, right? And it's like, if you just stop there, yeah, you're not solving anything. But I think it's to solve things, you have to stop them from game ending, and then you kind of like work down. So I think, yeah, okay, and yeah, you agree. It seems, yeah, we need both. We got to focus on filling water with Dixie cups. Yeah, I agree.
Wasn't there a study done on Vietnam veterans? I think there was a high percentage of Vietnam veterans that actually like used heroin when they were overseas, right?
Yeah.
And then when they came back, the vast majority of them like stopped using, didn't go into like super withdrawals, and they lived on their life normally. Yep. So wasn't like the summarization from that study is that once they were removed from that environment, they were better?
Yep.
To summarize it.
Yeah, and that's
so
similar.
Shouldn't we just be removing these people from these fucked up environments? Like I don't.
That's easier said than
I
done
know
because it's it's not so much. Like with Vietnam, it's very obvious that it's like Vietnam is the problem, but it's like you can't run away from yourself. And a lot of times yourself is kind of the problem, I guess. But the environment is a huge thing.
That's like the last 80 years of like trying to combat homelessness and drug addiction and VA shit like that. It's all like been a policy struggle. That's been, people have realized what we're saying right now decades ago, but trying to solve it since.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's also something, I don't know how many people know about this, but I think it's a pretty famous experiment called Rat Park, where they had these like rats, because they're always getting rats addicted to cocaine in these lab settings for some fucking reason. And so they had rats, and they had like coconized water and like just normal water. And if the rats were in like terrible living conditions, they would fucking just go after the coconized water, because they want that cocaine, of course, who wouldn't, but then when they built Rat Park, which is like a very fancy rat complex with pipes and a large space and fun rat things to do. I don't know what the fuck rats like to do. Then the rats would just stop drinking the coconized water. They would just like, more of them would just drink the normal water. They wouldn't even like need, because they were getting so much out of their environment that they weren't using, at least is the theory, that they weren't seeking these drugs. Whereas rats famously, well, if you attach a lever to a rat or a lever to a cocaine drip into a rat, it'll press that lever until it dies from exhaustion. This is a real thing. If every time it hits a lever, they'll get a shot of cocaine, it'll fucking hit that thing until it fucking kills itself.
Yeah,
that's how much rats love cocaine.
Like, that's very believable. You don't have to convince me.
Yeah, I guess it is very believable.
I understand we're on the topic of like the opioid epidemic, but like something that kind of gets pushed under the radar is like the mental health crisis from long-term methamphetamine usage. I know it's not killing as many people, but it's causing a lot more people just to not be able to function in fucking society.
Yeah, well, it's causing the people using to kill other people. At least opioid addicts have the respect to just kill themselves, but meth addicts, they'll go and like stab their fucking neighbor at a fucking Olive Garden or some shit, It's
their
crazy.
Neighbor at an Olive Garden?
Yeah, that shit happens.
Why don't you go to their house instead of the Olive Garden that they're at?
Because you're on meth. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
The lunch combo. The lunch
put it on
combo
lunch
is
afters, just for no reason. I mean, it's just
$10.99 for limited soup, salad, and breadsticks at Olive Garden for lunch.
Honestly,
you're all family when you're at Olive Garden, so everyone's your neighbor. If you think about
it. I could be wrong with this, but I really feel like the best way to combat addiction is to like physically remove these people off the streets and force them into rehabilitation. That's like the only way.
Unless you made the same joke at the same fucking time, basically. Just want to point that out. I think I beat him to it, though. I think I did.
Attaboy, Confluence, attaboy.
I've got to talk faster than Less Chief types, so he doesn't steal my fucking thunder.
Like, I think the best way to combat addiction is like to find a sense of belonging or to find a sense of purpose without the drug.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably one of the main things. The problem is it's so multifaceted. Like it's so and I know saying that is like stupid, but because it's obvious, but it really is. Like there's so many. Like Testy was on here, and he's like too much of a coward to join now, which is fair. It's 2026, but he was talking about someone who has lost their family member and whatever, their kid.
I'm on my 4th month. The 20th of June will be my 4th month. Except for nicotine. I can't stop nicotine. I'd fucking kill somebody in Minecraft if I didn't have this. So,
man, that's crazy. You're so weak for not being able to stop nicotine. I can't imagine that.
Nicotine is as addictive as heroin, you fuck.
No, if you can't stop, if you use nicotine, you're just like a fucking coward. You know what I mean? You just have no self-control, Avery. No self-control.
I know, for real. What a bitch. Where's my Zins?
Rage Page has some crazy things. Good to see Rage Page, but I mean, I don't think the 3 strikes. I mean, you're gonna let them die in the 3rd. Like, think of that. Actually, the EMTs are there, let's say, and they're like, "Oh, it's let me check my database. Oh, it's their 3rd time overdosing. I guess we're gonna sit around while they die. We're gonna pull a fucking Walter White in Breaking Bad when Jesse Pinkman's girlfriend is dying, and we're just gonna let it happen. That's fucked up. That's fucked up." Okay.
No, imagine how bad the show would have been. Jesse would have never got his fucking arc and betrayed Walter. He probably would have just fucking overdosed somewhere.
He ended up being tortured.
That's an argument for fucking
white supremacists.
No. This is an argument for the Home Depot worker. This is an argument for the Home Depot worker.
She was Let's Chief. She was fucking beautiful, okay? And he just let her die. Not that should be a reason. You shouldn't evaluate that when you're about to Mr. Narcan.
Money-grubbing capital C that betrayed her father.
Her father was an asshole, man. He didn't understand.
Oh my god.
He was an asshole.
You're a fucking enabler. You would have killed her too.
Rage Page, you don't believe that. You don't believe that.
What? Well, see, the weird thing about the 3 strikes policy is like, what happens when like you get 2 strikes and then on your 3rd one, it's not that you took the drug. It's just that you touched some. Or I can't say touch, but let's say you ingested and it wasn't your own doing. Like you eat a sandwich
that like the fentanyl spills falls onto your fucking sub sandwich. You know, your foot long has like fucking 20 micrograms of And you're trying to eat fresh. You're not trying to fucking get fucked up or anything. And now we let that person die, Rage Page?
In Subway while I'm trying to eat my sandwich?
That's going to spoil my appetite. Think of the brand recognition that's going to be lost from Subway. It's going to be terrible.
I don't want the sub no more.
They already had to deal with Jared. Remember that guy that began months? I mean, they've taken too many blows, okay?
I don't think they could survive an overdose.
Bookstone's going to do the Mormon soaking version of fentanyl. The fentanyl just happened to end up on my sandwich.
I don't know what happened.
I'm not trying to consume fentanyl. You know, it's not me doing it. Someone just poured it into my mouth.
Rage. You don't actually believe what you said earlier. Like, as a Christian, do you really believe that?
Believe what?
See, this is funny. Rage, I don't mean to call Rage out. I'm not going to call her out in a specific way, but this accusation has been labeled at Rage. I think Rage has internalized this and is now projecting it in a very Jungian way back to other people. Because this is what Anson was saying. And I defended Rage Page. I said Rage Page was not enabling, but now she's fucking casting aspersions onto others, calling them enablers. I don't know. Bring back Jared. See, Kirk, is Kirk still here?
Crazy.
That's
crazy. Timing.
Cool.
That's fucking timing. Bring back Jared. Eat fresh. That's fucking comedy timing. So Kirk analyzed this clip. Okay, that's what you need to do.
Now he's
Kirk.
going to be making out-of-pocket PDF file jokes, dude. Stop.
No, you have to analyze it correctly, and then you have to pick your moment for an out-of-pocket PDF joke. Okay. So maybe this was a horrible example. Maybe actually don't listen because you might take the wrong message from
it. You're gonna get your fucking channel striked. Like, holy shit.
Tessie is doing like a master's level, and you need to work on your GED of comedy, Kirk. So, but this is what you could aspire to one day. Okay.
It was clever. It wasn't laugh out loud funny. Quit dick riding. It was okay.
It was good timing. We're teaching Kirk about comedic timing.
Okay.
When you can say out of pocket things and they're fine. This is an example of out of pocket comment. That's fine based on the context.
I'm in a game. I forgot the context. That's fair. You're right. My bad.
Right, exactly. You're just mad at Testy from before where you guys had your little fucking
I forgot the context. You're 100% right. I recant my statement. Testy's comment from earlier was much better. China #1.
He always says that though, which I hate. I hate that he's right. That the only thing people are going to remember about me is how not Chinese I am, which I fucking hate that. I think about that every fucking day, man. Terrible.
Is my webcam working or is it black on y'all for y'all too?
No,
it's not black. It's more like Hispanic, I suppose.
Fuck you.
It's like a frozen Hispanic man being very still.
I see. It's just black on my screen. That's weird. Hold on. There we go. that better?
No.
Nope, it's just black for me.
Nope.
No, you're still frozen.
Oh,
Moving to the
that's
right.
me. Oh, it's still me.
Everyone-
There we go.
The amount of times people have come up to me and just started speaking in Spanish and instantly assume that I would speak Spanish back fucking infuriates me.
Aren't you like Lebanese or some gay shit?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
in a
pretty
bad
much.
way,
I mean,
but you know, gay is in you're bisexual. I mean,
I'm
not
like- I'm like,
Lebanese
yes,
people are
I
gay.
can tell the difference.
Hold on. I'm 25% I like to blow shit up. So, you know, which is
Are
true.
you actually
It's very
Lebanese?
fun.
Did I just pull out of my freaking ass? I have such a
No,
good
I am
memory if you're actually Lebanese. Based.
I am, yeah.
Oh, Conflict knows it so well.
Could you give me an authentic Death to America?
No.
Yeah, and then like a
I could say the death to the I word, but then Confluence would get tricked down. So I'm not going to say that here.
That's true. IJ just got fucked. Also, I want to plug my boy, not in a gay way, in a normal way. Tyler, I saw that. I thought he was like kind of clowning a little bit on IJ last night, but apparently not. He was just having fun because I saw he got Rob Noor to retweet IJ's plight, and Rob Noor fucking did it. So I don't know if it's gonna work, but W Tyler, I saw this, so I just thought that was fucking goated because I thought Tyler was kind of taking the piss a little bit, and that was kind of my read. And okay, you were, but then you backed it up with action, which actually is a very Tyler thing to do, I suppose, in hindsight.
Yeah, I do want to say this. If they actually help him get like the strike removed, my opinion of Andrew Wilson and Rob Noor will kind of shoot sky high.
Rob's a very nice dude.
I actually haven't seen a whole lot of Rob Noor. I take that back.
Rob Noor is a nice dude. I don't have anything against Andrew. I would never call Andrew a nice dude though, but I would call Rob Noor a nice dude. Like I think he's like a.
Sorry, I take that back I take that back from Rob Noor or about Rob Noor. But if that happens, like my opinion of Andrew Wilson will actually go pretty high.
I don't think Andrew Wilson tweeted it out. You know. So,
I got another friend that I DM with a lot that's also big. I was thinking about asking, but he's more of a left winger, and I don't know if he would like the bait post that I made. So, but yeah, I was thinking about asking.
I do like that Rob acquiesced to that bait post. I do like that. I like that for so many reasons.
He knows he gets to how the internet works. He knows that you have to do like the grift in order to get attention. If you go on there and insanely say, "Hey, YouTube, I just don't think this was correct. Could you look at it again?" Unless you were at 1 million fucking followers, nobody's gonna give a shit. Controversy is what gets eyes.
That's true. I still want to know. I wish Lech's stream was still up because I want to know because I'm just hearing like of what his guess is, which obviously I wouldn't have a better guess, but I want to know exactly what happened. What did he actually do that would have like crossed the line? The only thing was, I guess he was saying that no one will say something similar to the F slur, but no one say it. And I guess he thought that was fine. Maybe that was it. But I feel like without an individual report, I'm not sure. Unless someone did report him. I mean, he was insinuating it might have been first offender because he was in like a fight with him or whatever. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, what Rage Page is saying in chat. I'm not going to pull it up on screen because now I'm paranoid. Okay, but yeah. Back to the video.
You're attributing the cost over the entire country as opposed to giving exact measure, and you're attributing it to people who aren't necessarily taxpayers because those are skewed statistics when you measure by the census taxpayer number as to where this money's getting spread out over. More importantly, it's not just
already
the actual
debunked
cost
it last
of
stream. Everyone go watch the last stream.
Naloxone. So in my city currently,
not now, obviously.
I don't know much about Canada, and in cities across the United States, business districts are having to close doors because the population of these people who are addicted living outside of their businesses prevents them from being able to do business.
Oh, I hate this. Get to the point, because obviously no one would disagree with this. Opiate addicts are a problem. Obviously, every fucking addict is a problem. Every homeless person is a problem. How much time do these ladies have left? AVG, push it harder. Get to the fucking actual crux of this.
And you have the cost of the city.
I'm hoping to affect retro causality and change the outcome of this conversation. Okay.
Find places
like 15 minutes
that they are receiving, because a lot of these people end up with injuries that become infected because they don't go for medical treatment.
No
because
kidding.
They're high on drugs.
Addiction
so they don't
bad.
feel it.
Addiction
And by the
bad.
time
Thanks,
they do
Witchy.
something about it,
You know
it's a
this.
serious issue. And those
Let her off,
costs are
AVG. Stop being so
passed
fucking
on,
polite.
not to the taxpayer.
Fucking women debating.
Most
Women
of those
debating.
costs are
Women
passed on
moderator.
through hired,
What did we
to
expect?
raise
You know?
costs to the individual to cover the
Said
indigent
it the
funds
first
that a lot of
term.
private hospitals.
If this was me and Testicular Johnson, I'd be fucking screaming at him, calling him every slur in the book, but we'd at least be making fucking progress,
Private
okay?
and state hospitals are
Fucking
required
hell.
to have in place for these people. So
Yeah,
that
sounds
cost
like it.
gets
Let's
passed
Chief
on to
Loki.
people
Although
who
we'll have to
can't
see the
afford to
Witchy
pay,
and
to our
Confidence
insurance
interview, which
companies who then
she
raise
said is
our
happening,
rates.
so
Like,
that will
if
be
you
happening.
look at those costs, then there's the social costs where most of our parks
Yeah,
in the
ask her
city
if
I
she
live
works
in,
at Home
I
Depot.
can't take my kids to play in the park
Yeah,
anymore
that'll
like
be one
I
of my
did when I
questions.
was
That's
a
my
kid
first question.
because they're camping there. There's
Also, I want to
meals
fight
there.
with Rage Page
There's
on this because of
people
her
sitting out there with
untoward
foil. I
projections
don't
that she's
know if
doing,
you
you
know
know,
much
so
about
that
fentanyl
too.
use, but freebasers are a big portion of the fentanyl users these days. And there's used foil with fentanyl on it that if my child accidentally picks up could take out my child lying
This is so stupid. Tyler knows how stupid this is, what she's saying right
in
now.
the street
Yeah.
because we have these
That's a
addicts
waste.
who are
If there
not
was
getting
any
sufficient
value in
care
it, they would have kept
after
it.
being
Yeah, it's so fucking. It's like said no fentanyl user ever.
resuscitated and resuscitated. And the numbers show it. I've seen, I don't know how many street interviews where user after user admits to multiple times of being resuscitated. The
Confluence, are you
article
there?
I shared about EMT
I
stories.
am here.
These EMT
I'm confused. You said retrocausality, but I thought you said you believe time is continuous.
Well, I do see that was an example of like kind of a bit of a joke, Kirk, where I was saying I was gonna, you know, try to influence the debate in backwards time. Unless what you're saying is a joke, in which case I would say it's not presented in a way that makes it obvious to me that it's a joke, unless the problem is on my end, and now we're in a fucking loop. Y'all
Like,
act like fentanyl is everywhere. It's in every batch of heroin in every city in the continental United States.
It's
It
in our
is
subway.
present. It's all over. There are Subway sandwiches. They're putting in my fucking cold cut page, okay? I just wanted a cold cut, an Italian herbs and cheese, and they're putting fucking carfentanil in that shit. Fuck that. No, but honestly, it is like it's hard to probably buy an opioid without having a risk, especially on the street. Because again, even like pill presses are a thing, and I know Tyler was saying you can, if you want to toot it, you can put it in a straw and fuck it. But I don't know how like you want to trust your life on that. Fentanyl is in. You can just read the news, right? They seize it in all these cities. They seized in my city. They seized like I don't know, like some stupid number, like 2,000 Dilaudid pills, and they were all like fucking. It was just Fent. It was just Fent and filler pressed and like stamped with the fucking D and stuff. So you know, so it's,
Isn't
You know, if I got a Dilaudid
isn't a lot of the fentanyl coming from China? So if we restrict stuff
Yeah.
coming from China, and we,
No.
and we
That's not how that works.
No.
This is
Yeah,
legal.
this is
illegal.
This is the problem. This is the problem that I think a lot of people don't realize, or maybe some people don't realize. So fentanyl, right, as most people probably know, is like measured in micrograms, right? It's incredibly powerful. When you get into like the fentanyl analogs, like Carf and stuff, it's like it's so potent that like one suitcase of a fentanyl analog could like supply the US with their like opioid cravings for like an entire year. Like one suitcase full of it. So it is impossible to stop. Like if you do any trade with any of these countries, as long as they get, again, one suitcase, it's not like weed where you have to get hundreds of pounds into the country, or even like cocaine. At least you have to get like kilograms and kilograms. It's like fentanyl is so powerful, especially the analogs, that you bring like a little bit across. So if you let one vehicle, one shipment go through, you just miss one, the country's fucked. So there's no controlling it in that way. Like it almost is impossible. It's an impossible task.
I think you claim something false. I know a guy that did one puff of the marijuanas and he killed his mom. So,
oh, that is true. That is true. There is lethal doses of everything. But yeah, Kirk, that is. I guess that's what I would say. So restricting trade would do nothing because all it takes is literally, unless you like stopped all trade from China. But if you even allow a little bit,
it doesn't come over with
all
the
it
trade.
takes is
The
one
trade
thing.
If it was just trade, it would be inspected, it would be fucking caught, found, and people would be arrested. It's being smuggled in illegally, so it doesn't matter. It's getting shipped to cartels and cartels are bringing it in. So the way to cut it down is to stop them on the border, and then if they try to bring boats in, you blow them the fuck out of the water.
No,
I agree. We should stop the immigrants.
Tyler, some of it is on legal trade. Some of it is on legal shipments, just like from Mexico.
Okay,
some of it's on legal things, and they shove it in some fucking wheel well. And like with fentanyl, all you need is like a little bit to make a lot of money. That's the problem. It's like you could fucking stash that shit everywhere, and they don't search every boat, right? They search every X number of boats or some random shit, right? Like they do at normal border crossings, right? They can't tear apart every fucking vessel that comes from China. And if you just miss one, you're fucked. So it's literally like an impossible problem, I think, to solve with just like cracking down on like imports, exports.
Yeah, you're never gonna find no law and law enforcement has ever stopped something from happening. It's the fact that it's so per capita high. Well, it was at a certain point. It's come down quite a bit, and a lot of that is because of the border security that we got. So I mean, we've seized and stopped a lot of shit over the border from the cartel.
I would declare, if I were Trump, I would declare fentanyl a national security issue and have the military go in to stop the cartels.
Weirdly, I don't agree solely. Well, I don't agree because of the cartel thing, but I actually agree with your broader point. Or sorry, I don't agree because of the fentanyl issue, but I agree with your broader point. I think Trump should absolutely go in and fuck the cartels. I do. I've said this before. I said this in the debate with Admiral Gibbs, if I recall correctly, on Wick's channel. I think that should fucking happen. I think they are, they meet all the criteria of a domestic an international like terror organization. And so I think Trump fucking should. And I feel like the fact that fucking bitch, the president of Mexico, whatever her fucking name is, don't even know it, don't want to know it, don't even care. The fact that she like goes against it so hard, I think she's fucking in the fucking claws of the cartel already, to be honest with you.
Her predecessors was, and I'm pretty sure they've proven he was one of his election campaigns was partially funded by the cartel. I don't know if there's any proof against her.
Claudia Scheinbaum Pardo.
Yeah.
She's Jewish.
I think 100%. I think she's bought and paid for by the cartel, and I don't even know if I blame her because I'm sure they're gonna like torture her family members if she doesn't, because Mexico's fucked. So like I don't even like I don't hold anything against her, but it's just like Claudia Nosberg.
Well, she is Jewish.
Something.
Yeah.
Kirsten is self-hating Jew arc apparently right now.
I'm not self-hating. I'm just saying it's a hilarious joke.
Like,
let's see. This is what I'm saying. I don't even know if I blame her in that way. Like would I do different if I was the president of Mexico and they're threatening the people I love? I would probably just be like, yeah, leave the cartel alone, Donald Trump. Like what else are you gonna fucking do? It's a fucking cartel. They're fucking crazy. Fucking. Okay, well, I would say that. But yeah, just crazy.
Cartel's gonna come for you.
I know. That's the thing. I actually had a lot of trepidation on that Wick debate to go so strong as the cartel because I was like, what? Because they fucking do. They'll like kill like people. They've killed Twitter people. People that just like post on Twitter. They fucking killed them and hung them from fucking bridges with fucking notes in fucking Espanol next to them.
That's a real thing. Reasonable thing that they've done. Have you been on Twitter?
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's like the lowest. That's like when they like you, they'll just hang you from a bridge and fucking take out your organs and shit like that. That gets a lot worse, So I don't know, man. That's why I have no plans to go to Mexico though. So, but still, you can defeat some of the cartels. Okay, you can some of the cartels have been absolutely fucking gutted, through various means. Okay, so you can't maybe stop the problem entirely unless you do some serious action, but any action taken against, I think, the cartel is like absolutely warranted at the very least. I don't think it's going to stop the fentanyl thing. That's why I disagree with Kirk's broader point. I don't think it's actually going to fix that because, again, you can get fentanyl from so many countries. It's not that hard for them to create it, and you just need a small amount to like slink through one fucking border crossing, and you can supply like an entire country. Again, one vehicle comes through, and that's like enough fentanyl for the U.S. for an entire year. Like that's the problem. Good to see you, Scott. The drug issue is reason enough, but they traffic people too. Well, that's true. They made millions trafficking during Biden's term. Now the cartel is looking for other ways to take money. It will explode sooner or later. Yeah, that's true. Fuck the cartel.
I think trafficking it was either 2 or 6 billion. I don't remember the statistic off the top of my head, but it was either 2 to 6 billion a year they make just off of trafficking alone.
Yeah, it's the fucking coyotes. How much crack cocaine do you use? Confluence. How much crack cocaine have I done in the past, or how much do I use now? Because to answer the latter question, zero crack
You never
cocaine.
tried crack?
When I answered the latter question, which is how much do I use currently, which is zero crack cocaine.
One night, dude, I was like 19 years old, and I was at a party house, and this dude's like sitting in a room by himself. I'm like, "What are you doing, man?" Like, I popped in, I had a blunt, I let him hit it. He's like, "It's my birthday, man. I got 3 8 balls. I was gonna cook it all into crack and smoke it." I was like, "Oh, cool. I've never tried that." He's like, "You want to smoke some crack?" I was like, "Okay." We did that for about 4 hours.
When someone asks you to smoke crack, yes, I know. Yeah, that's what Tyler hasn't realized. That was fucking me in that memory. Okay,
no, his name was Dave. I know him very well. He was a white dude that went by the name Pito. He got it in jail. Yep.
Wonder what he thinks about Narcan.
Yeah, we should get him on the panel.
He died of heroin overdose.
Oh shit! Remember. I was gonna say get Crack Dave on the panel.
Facebook. His name's see
if it's like memorialized or whatever.
He had a hot sister too.
Okay, get her on the panel then. Well, why are we talking about Dave if he's got a hot sister? Stop saying slurs, Rage Page. We saw what happened to Lunch. We're on high alert now. Threat level midnight. Okay.
They have what they call frequent flyers. AVG.
I also want to be able to say I never did crack.
Somebody calls them because they administered.
You gotta at least try it. I mean, come on.
Off the side of the street.
Not medical advice.
Come out there and check on this person there. And these people are told they need to get to a hospital, and they refuse to go to a hospital. And it happens over and over again. Like I get that you have a soft heart for there might be that one addict who is then later my converted ortho Christian husband. I'm joking. That was a joke, honey. There's that one that's going to come out of this and become viable moral.
If a man calls a woman honey, but not vice versa?
The vast majority of them.
Or a woman calls another woman honey.
Why
it's
can't you answer that
based.
yourself?
Yeah. It's also you can call. There's some women you can call honey, and it's fine. You have to just know them well and know the timing. It always comes back to the timing, Kirk, and how well you know the woman.
Kirk
obviously,
always fucks up the timing.
Yeah, that's always fucks up the timing. It's always context based.
The N-word pass is always in small groups because you got to show your friends first before they grant you that. You can't just go.
I know, but why is it? Yeah, but why is it only context-based for a man to call a woman honey, but if a woman calls another woman honey, it's never context-based?
Oh, you can tell how young you are when you ask these questions.
Yeah, I feel like you should know the answer to that. Yeah, I feel like I could. There's context where I could call Rage Page honey, and I feel like that'd be fine. I think I have the honey
your
pass.
Cousin, weirdo.
Rage Page? No, AVG is my cousin. Not Rage Page. Rage Page is in the person in the chat. Rage Page is not. This is not the same person as AVG, okay, who used to go by a similar name. She used to go by the name Rage, to be clear. Not the same person. But yeah.
Could be the same person.
Could be. We never seen them on panel at the same time. I don't think we have, so they could be the exact same person. They do talk incredibly similar, if you think about it.
An increase of the number of actual addicts because so many of them are surviving longer. And at the same time,
but I think if a woman calls another woman honey, it should only be if they're in like a lesbian relationship.
All it's doing is put.
Kirk, you don't understand how words work. What do you mean?
That's fucking insane, Kirk.
Well, if I can only call a woman honey if she's my girlfriend, then
you can't. It's context dependent. I think one of the trivia is I called Rage Page babe. It was in the context and it just fucking worked. I don't think she took it the weird way.
Well,
it's a normal thing. I can't go into normal like to a random one and be like, "Hey babe, what's up?" That's gonna feel like weird, right? Like it's all context. How do you know the person?
But I'm saying then context. A woman should only be able to say call another woman honey or babe or whatever if they know each other or if there's some reason to, like contextually.
I don't think you decide the social rules of how society functions. It's your job to learn the social rules.
But I'm saying that is what the social rules should be.
But social rules are not really prescriptive, right?
Who the fuck are you to make odd claims about the social rules?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're born into society. Society's not born into you, Kirk. Right? So you're in society.
You disagree that would be fair?
Because I don't fair, I guess, as in equal, but I don't think things have to be equal to be fair. So I disagree about the fairness.
Yeah,
I'd say that would be equal, but I don't think we have to make things. Obviously, the way a woman will maybe change in front of another woman, but a woman won't usually change in front of a random man. Why is that?
Of course, but there's a difference. Hold on. There's a huge difference between a word, and like your sexual, like your body. Like, of course, there's a difference there.
Are we back this again?
Not as much difference as you would think, Kirk. Like, these things are obviously, there's stuff that like a woman consider a woman. No, there's not. You just don't know how, like,
because let's say there's a group of women. Let's say there's a group of women, and a random woman just walks into the room naked. She would be arrested, unless it's a designated thing.
Possibly. I mean, it just depends. It depends on the context, right?
Exactly. I'm saying in the same way, it should be contextual for a woman to call another woman honey.
I know, but even in that case, right? Like if a woman walks in on her female friends naked, she's probably not going to get arrested. But if I walk in on my female friends naked, right? All of a sudden they're calling the cops as if I've done something wrong.
If a woman walks
I'm getting fucking Me Too'd on Twitter, and it's like, what the fuck?
If a woman walks in on her female non-friends, then she would get arrested if she's naked.
Not as quickly as I'll get arrested, and not with the same consistency, right? There's differences.
Anyway, the point is, it should be contextual to call people honey, period.
No, obviously it's going to be... Gender's a thing, Kirk. I hate to break it to you. I hate to be the one to tell you, but gender is a real thing, and that changes things, right? Male and females, they're different if you think about it. And even if you don't, really, and that's going to change like how interactions happen, what social norms are, There's all these things.
There is a group that has that privilege to say honey to whomever they want without any qualifiers at all, and it's old black women. So it already exists.
That's valid.
That was my example.
Hey, honey.
Yeah, that's
sugar.
true.
Southern ones too, specifically. So sorry, Kirk. The niche is taken. Unless you want to, become an old black woman.
Oh, Testy with the big 5. Wait till a woman breastfeeding in public is natural and beautiful, but when I do it, all of a sudden it's cruel and unusual. # double standard.
See, Turk, there's your real world example.
Yeah, why can't Testy breastfeed in public?
If you can see the difference between your body, if you can see the difference between your body and language, then I don't know what to tell you. You need to pass first grade first. You need to learn your ABCs. You need to learn your grammar. You need to learn your arithmetic.
All right, Kirk, do you think Kirk, I hate you.
Kirk, what about, I know I'm afraid of your answer on this, but do you understand, at least culturally and from societal point of view, why like black people can get away with like saying the N-word, let's say, but you and I, we won't.
Hold on.
I'm not saying you agree, but you understand why that's like kind of a social norm.
Do I understand it in a sense that, like, I understand that some people believe that, yes.
Do you understand why they believe that? Do you understand how that came to be? Have you thought about that?
I understand how it came to be. It's still a fucked up social norm.
Why?
Because a word is a word, and I should be allowed to say the N-word, and if a black person doesn't like it, tough shit.
I mean, that's perspective.
You like Sartre. This is all about existential freedom.
Don't cuck me like that, where you like this one author, therefore you must like everything. Also, Sartre didn't say that you should be able to say any word at any time. But
yeah, but no, he said that morality is constrictive of basically your existential freedom. So yes.
Yeah, no one's saying, I'm not making an argument that's morally wrong to do this thing. I'm not saying it's morally wrong for a white person, like objectively. I'm not saying it's morally wrong for a white person to say the N-word, but there's obviously like there's obviously some type of social morality, and I'm saying you have to understand, and you should understand the reasons why that's the case, right?
The point is, I should be allowed to say the N-word, and I should be allowed to say the N-word, and only a woman should not be able to call any old woman honey unless there's a contextual reason for her.
You just gotta.
That's the bottom line.
Kirk, why
I
are you like
understand.
going around deciding what people can and can't? Like, come on, dude.
Again, this is a descriptive thing. It's not like social norms are not about you deciding what you think is like correct, right?
Well, anyway, the point is, when we're done with this panel, I'm going to be screaming the N-word.
And you can do that, Kirk, in the private. You go ahead. You put on your fucking whatever. I don't know what you listen to, Kirk, but some like gangster rap or something.
No, I fucking hate
Busta Rhymes.
Hold on.
I can't. I try to rap Busta Rhymes without saying the N-word. It's too much mental load. So sometimes if you're alone, I'm not saying I personally do this, but like sometimes you're gonna maybe let one go, but like, and who's gonna stop you? But there's also no one around you to stop you, right? So, but you'd understand if you said it on public that you might get like some eyes pointed in your directions, right? If we think about it.
Yeah, but it's fucked up. But what's Savory saying?
So look, I got a question. Is it wrong if me and my friend agree? Like, I'm not gonna say this on stream. Obviously, you're gonna have to imply what I'm saying. But if he can call me a derogatory white name, he gave me permission to use the N-word with him. And it's a fucking joke. Right? Would that be okay then?
If someone calls you a derogatory white name, yeah.
Okay, but see, here's the thing though. He can call me the derogatory white name in public, but I can't call him the derogatory black name in public. Because then everyone looks at me and they don't fucking look at him. This happened.
That's true.
That's fucked up in my opinion.
He instigated it.
My ethical philosophy, right? You want to talk about philosophy, bros? My ethical philosophy is that that's fucked up.
Mayo monkey, that's fucking awesome. Oh my god.
That actually is kind of funny.
Great. That's
See,
great.
I'm fine with that. There's one. Testy, I don't know if you remember it. There's one white slur that triggers me. There's only one.
What is it?
I'm not going to say it, okay?
That's not as funny.
Of course, Big So's going to fucking know it.
How is that a derogatory? What does that even mean?
That's not funny.
Knows. These are my people.
That's not
to me.
That's not as funny as peeping Tom or Seymour Butts.
It's not funny. I'm saying I think I actually fucking hate when people say that word. That's the one that does. But like if someone called me.
It stands for like Saxon Protestant.
Oh my god! Okay, yeah, I can see why that would piss people off.
Predatory animal, and it's also like a pest, an insect. So it just like hits all the like. I think that should be fucking banned. If I can't say a bunch of untoward words, I don't know why these freaking Hassan people can just go around on Twitter.
Hassan people.
Well, Hassan and his ilk,
So if I owned YouTube, I would allow you to say the N-word.
Well, you probably wouldn't own it for long.
Yeah, that's true. The advertisers wouldn't like that, Kirk.
Okay, well, fine. Then I wouldn't let Hassan use anti-white words.
Based, at least not WASP, because like, how is that? If you called any other race some type of thing that's also a pest, and you evoked that type of imagery, you would fucking be like. You'd be like banned in a fucking instant.
You mean like maggots?
Yeah, if you use that.
What's that word that people are banned? That starts with an F?
Yeah, well, you can't say that, Kirk.
Yeah,
but,
I think the left celebrated when they would call MAGA maggots.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
So it's pretty culturally accepted now.
Although I will say, tying it like I think that is like lowbrow and stuff, but at least tying it to a political ideology, I'm like, okay, I think it's like, yeah, I think it's not good rhetoric, but I think tying it to like a immutable characteristic, I think is really fucked up when it's like you're tying it like if you said like the Nazi stuff about what they said about the Jewish people and stuff. I think those things are like that's like a very And so I think I don't know how WASP doesn't fit into the same category, in my opinion.
What'd they say about him?
It's because you're white and you feel.
I can't really remember, to be honest with you. It just doesn't come to mind.
People always talk about it, and they never get into details.
Yeah, no one remembers. Okay, it's one of those forgotten things in history. Moving on before Kirk says it.
Band-aid over a gaping wound, and as long as people in positions of power think that that Band-Aid is sufficient, they're not going to look for more. They're going to be, oh, we gave them
It's going to be
Narcan.
soy testy.
And then we're still
It's
going
okay
to
to
have
be
these
soy.
people on our streets, sleeping on our
Wise
streets,
man once told me
defecating
that.
on our streets, drug using on our streets, having copulation in the middle of the street because they're high and they don't care, in front of our
Population
children,
in the
front of
middle
our
of
elderly.
the street.
The services that our elderly need are being usurped, especially since a lot of our elderly fall into the lower income brackets. Their services are being usurped by these people who will never contribute, even if you can get a lot of them clean and sober. Even if you could.
Happens
The
all the
majority
time,
of them have
Testy. Happens
lifelong
all
health
the time.
issues and mental health issues associated just with the use itself over prolonged periods. What sort of productive citizen are they going to be? They're constantly going to need the support of society. Yes, I say let them die. And if that makes me a cold-hearted witch, well, we all know I am one anyway, so I'm okay with that.
Man, everyone knows I love when people do that. They're like, you know what? I'm going to preempt the criticism. I'm a fucking cold-hearted bitch. And so it's fine when I say things that make me a cold-hearted bitch, right? Right? Because I already called myself that. So it means I'm not that. Fuck off. Fuck off. Well, Rage Page, you don't think that you're just that. This is my copium to make me still, think that you're a good person deep down. Is I think you're just projecting, Rage Page. I don't think you actually think that. Okay, does that make sense?
Also, is this Big Soda?
No.
I hope so.
No,
is.
it's Eduardo.
It's Eduardo. Oh shit!
Yeah.
I feel like that's what he sounds like before he puts on the porn. He's like, yeah. He switches over. It's like, no. We had a recent Eduardo sighting, remember? At least I think. That girl that I posted, that obviously was not. Like, I feel like that had to be Eduardo. I mean, I don't know what would have happened if I but obviously it's not a person, so, So Eduardo is still watching. He's still out there. So shout out Eduardo, making me stand my
MC Nemesis.
MC Nemesis is chill. Even one time he joined, it was like two or 3 days ago, because he always joins to restream, but we've had him on stream and he's like trustworthy now. So he joined and I let him on panel and he just like left and just restreamed. Like he didn't want to be on panel. He used to complain that I wouldn't let him on panel. Now I fucking bring him up and he just fucking dips out and just restreams me, which is fine,
He's gotten too big for us now.
Yeah, he's like, he used to be like, oh, Accomplice doesn't let me on panel. Now I let him on. He's like, no, I'm better than this.
Yeah,
just
I can't be around
Spotify.
these people.
Confluence.
These people.
I have a joke that I think you might like. Can I try it?
I almost certainly won't, but you can go ahead. Allow it. Who's there?
Doctor.
Doctor Who?
I didn't know you liked British TV.
Stupidest. As I'm saying, I
Doctor
know what the
Who is
punchline is
fucking
going to be.
goated.
I want to hire 17 Saudis and fly a plane into that joke.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
In real life. In fucking real life.
I'll stand to about it.
Go, Kirk.
Sorry, I've been a little bit under the weather, guys, so forgive me if I get a little raspy.
Yeah, all right. So you said a lot there.
Oh, damn, I thought she just sounded like that. She looks like she sounds like that.
Fucking witch coded.
Yeah, dude, like she smokes 5 packs of cigarettes fucking day.
Stepping on the needle, right? Or coming into contact with the Narcan, with the fentanyl, in which case you would want the Narcan available. But my concern from your position is this, okay? You are saying because this person might cost more than they're worth, and you're, I would call it an immoral assessment. I'm not saying you're immoral. That assessment is rather immoral.
I'm saying that, Witchy, you're immoral. I still want to do the interview, so like, if you see this, don't don't write me off for that. But I feel like what you said is incredibly immoral. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Where does that end? Like, where's the bright line rule? Like the elderly, you brought up the elderly cost society quite a bit and they contribute very little. Can we just Soylent Green them?
Okay, now we're getting to the fucking weeds. The good weeds.
They cost the government.
I have one joke. I think you'll actually like this.
Do we just Soylent Green?
We're about to eat the old people. What are you trying to tell another joke? This is not the timing that we talked about, okay? This is not the timing.
I actually think you'll like
Kirk, have you ever even seen the movie Soylent Green? Do you even know what they're talking about?
No.
It's a good movie. You should watch it. It's free on YouTube.
Fucking based.
Please, can I give it a shot? I actually think this one.
Oh yeah, hey, it's 2026, Bucko.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
How do you know Santa Claus isn't Jewish?
How?
Because he goes down the chimney, not up.
Ha! Ha ha! That's fucking funny.
Wait, I actually don't get it. I actually don't get it.
Ashes.
I don't get it.
Ashes go up the chimney.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's a fucking good one.
I didn't even get that one.
Hey,
He's on his Jew arc.
Boo.
hold on, Kirk. What's the difference between a pizza and a Jew?
We're not doing Holocaust jokes. I don't like those. I don't like Holocaust jokes. Okay, call me soft, whatever. I don't like them. Okay, fine. What is the difference between the pizza? Just say that, so because I don't really think about it.
A pizza doesn't scream when you put it in the oven.
No, see, it's stupid. Well, I don't know why I wanted that. It's like when you know you're gonna watch a video, it's gonna traumatize you, but your curiosity just makes you fucking like it.
Joke, bro. How have you never heard that one? That's like the original.
When anyone goes to tell me some like dead baby joke or like a Jew, I'm like, don't tell me this, and then usually they don't tell me this, so I'll hit you with this. There we go. Thank you, Mara.
I'm pretty sure they have goyim jokes.
You know my feeling.
Oh, they certainly do. Yeah.
AVG,
those are funny though.
Okay. When it comes
Ben
to
Shapiro told me those are funny.
Soylent Green. I'm not going that far, but definitely the eugenics to prevent them from being born. I'm on board with that. And as far as the elderly, they have contributed, most of them, and now need the care of society. I'm talking about these people who are the vast majority of them.
What race page? What is the difference? I'm gonna go look it up
because I know I have the article. I'm not
leveraging my curiosity.
I know for a fact that this article that I had, and there'll be other articles if I don't find that one. Less than 1%. Less than 1%. Opiate addicts recovered as compared to 12%.
That's untoward.
Alcoholics when given treatment in detox and treatment centers. It was thought it was Columbia University. So I'm going to go look for this article while we talk, but I just want to understood that the statistics really do show about that most addicts don't recover.
Is that because rehab centers are really expensive too? Could that be something to do with it? Maybe the government should also make that available on a more wide basis.
Well, we have that here. I told you that AVG right here in my hometown because I've participated in helping in these places. I've ran AA meetings in these treatment centers that are free to the public, provided by our government in my state and in most states. That I've worked in these places with people. They're free. You can get in. All you have to do is when the bus comes around, the same bus, and it's a city-run bus, the one I'm talking about. The city here owns it. They provide this stuff. They come around with these kits. It's a little, it looks like a little makeup bag, and it has clean needles. It has,
wait, is she fine with this?
Cups to create,
rubber band.
That sounds expensive.
It's
cups
a tie.
for,
It's a tie that you put on.
She's fine with the fucking junkie bands to make your veins pop and clean needles, but she's against Narcan. I don't understand, man. I don't understand.
Yes, that thing. It has those. It has Narcan in it. It has.
Wait, is she pro this? I don't understand. What's happening?
And a little thing
Let
of
it cook.
isopropyl alcohol sometimes in them for safe using. Those same people can literally load you on the bus rather than give you a kit and take you to a detox. From detox, they'll put you into a bed in a treatment center, or they'll get you into outpatient treatment if they can get you placed with a family member.
Yeah, but obviously, which one is cheaper? Giving someone like a couple of rigs and an alcohol swipe, or like bringing them into a long-term treatment facility? Like, obviously, one of these is like more costly than the other. I mean, I agree. We should hopefully have like more funding for that, but just on like a harm reduction point of view and looking at cost, I mean, one of those costs like $5, literally. Well, I guess the Narcan would bring it up, but besides the Narcan, it's like $5.
She needs to go back to letting them die.
I am sure the cost of fucking needles, alcohol swabs, and a plastic tie. Well, I'm just saying from a fiscal point of view. Look, I'm fine. I'm all for more like government facilitated rehab. I am not a phony. How dare you? How dare you? I'm all for the government to spend more money on fucking rehab. I'm all for that. I'm just saying that to compare these two things, one of them is like thousands and thousands of dollars, and one of them, I guess, with the Narcan is like $30, right? Like these are incredibly different things.
A lot of times family members don't come forward for these people. And I've worked with these people, a lot of them AVG, and I'm not, this is still anecdotal because my state is one of the worst for drug abuse and one of the best for offering solutions. So there are places they may not offer that. But everywhere that I know of, you can go and get help, and they come to you and offer you, please come with us. We will help you. And they don't want to go. The majority of these people, and I don't, and you can quote me on these people, because that's going to offend some people. The majority of these people have chosen a life.
What do you mean by these people?
What about the people?
Well, I'm a very community and family-oriented culture here. I'm from an area where it's mostly Native American and Hispanics, which are very family-oriented cultures. And yet these people are out on the streets because their own families have gotten to the point where I can't take him home with me. He steals from me. He goes in his little sister's room and takes her piggy bank.
Rage Page, I'm going to make you join the panel. I'm going to rip your ovaries off in a video game, okay? I swear to God.
Showing up.
They don't want help.
You have no idea how many people
Fix your Chromebook and then freaking join the panel so I can interrogate you.
Yeah,
I can't get them to a meeting. I can't get them to their therapist.
No, the ovaries. Like Kirk, I've taken what Kirk said into account.
The
Make it
resources
equal.
are there and they're not using them. And yes, I firmly believe let them die in the street, cremate their bodies, and be done with it. We do not need to save everyone. Not everyone is worth
Witchy.
saving.
Mask
Even
off.
the person
I'm
that
excited
has
about my
contributed
interview.
to
Okay.
society their entire life, and then at the age of 50,
If she's still willing to do it.
they get a horrible back injury at their job site, right? And then they are prescribed OxyContin, and they get addicted to OxyContin. And then when that doctor stops writing them scripts, they turn to heroin, and then that person, by no fault of their own, is
I would
now
say the
on
same
a very
thing,
serious
Testy.
drug.
I would
And
say
you would
the
look at them on the
same
street and
thing.
be like, "Oh, that person's doing the fent walk. They're a junkie, right?" But this is a person that's just
There
for
isn't.
shit luck.
But then I
in
have
life, has
Rage, someone who I know is just projecting. I'm sorry, Rage. You're actually just projecting. You don't believe what you're saying now. That's why I want to talk to you about this, okay? On or off panel, I suppose, because I don't think you actually believe with what she's saying. I don't think you actually
themselves in that
do.
position,
I think
and
you're just
your method
angry.
makes no distinction.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
That's
I
the
don't.
problem
This
with
is
your
my
method.
cope. I don't think Paige actually
That person's
believes
gonna
what she's
have
saying.
access-
You
that person's
don't.
gonna have access to
You
medical
don't.
care.
I
That
believe this
person-
too. Yeah, Zia.
that person,
We can test you on the
like
same
you
page
said,
about
was
you, Rage.
prescribed This
You
She's
don't
a
actually
woman.
think
She don't know what she believes.
Yeah.
prescribed
Let me tell you what you actually
a
think,
nurse
Rage,
to
okay?
come and administer
You get
that
along
drug
better.
so that they don't overdose.
No, so
And if they're off of it and they're already addicted to heroin instead, they could have when they realized that they were having.
Because I know, I don't know. I don't know how much you want me to say. You've said all this on panel before, but I know like the stuff you said on panel, and I think that it's coming from a different place than what you're saying it's coming from, I guess, possibly. So I don't think you actually think this. I think you're just like thinking about circumstances and stuff. I don't know how much you want to talk about that, I suppose. This is all stuff again you've said publicly, but I don't know if that's the path you want to go down, but that's what I think. That's why I think you don't think this stuff.
Of their prescribed pain medication could have reached out to their medical professionals and gotten help for look, I'm going through withdrawals here.
Yeah, well, they don't though. That's the thing. I mean, more and more they're cutting them off now. But
treatment then, if they're willing to get the treatment, but if they're not willing to get the treatment and the treatment's available to them, no, let them die. If you're not willing to help yourself, we don't need to help you. There's no obligation to help someone who doesn't.
I mean, why stop there? Just abolish EMTs.
And I'm talking about adults here.
Well, like you said,
kill all the money.
Kill the EMTs, okay? And that's all I'm saying, to be clear.
Care for children until they're old enough and feed them and nurture them. We all know that. I'm talking about adults who are making adult decisions. And here's the thing. The majority of people who benefit from having Narcan available without the proper medical professional are people who OD more than once. We're not talking about a guy who
grasping at
very
straws.
rarely is the guy.
Rage Page, join. I want to fight you. I want to fight you, Rage
with his
Page.
pain medication, ODing, not going to get Narcan from the ambulance, or even have
She's a woman. She's scared.
someone
Are you
there
afraid,
to give them
Rage
the
Page?
Narcan.
Do I intimidate
people who
you?
are
That's
getting it
based
are
if
these
true.
people
I understand
on
that
the streets.
actually. I got this fancy
These are
ass
people
shirt
who
on
are-
and stuff, you know? That makes
And
sense.
you can say they aren't. They're a drain. They cause a lot of issues.
They're a drain.
Make
The
use of
mask.
all of
The mask is slipping so
taxpayer-funded
much. The
programming
useless
that should be
eaters,
available
right,
to
Witchy?
low-income people who are actually trying to do something for themselves. They take advantage of our medical system, and they're a nuisance. They're a nuisance on business. My own town, the down what used to
Former
be
addict,
known
remember,
as part
Witchy,
of the down,
as she
the
said in this
downtown
debate.
district
Former addict
is
herself.
becoming a ghost town.
I wonder if
Businesses
she
are
was a
going out of
nuisance when
business
she was a
because they
fucking
can't-
alcoholic.
You can't get
Probably.
customers to come in because they have to wade through these
I wonder if she would
zombified
leave herself
junkies in the
there.
front.
So
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
ask you a question. I wasn't sure whether or not I really want to go down this route, but I'm just
Do it.
gonna
Do it,
gonna
Diane.
tolerate it just for the purposes of demonstrating something. So if Narcan, right, when it's used, it doesn't technically prevent the overdose. They do need to seek medical attention, right? If the
That's not true, Bella. Slide.
person, like, you're concerned that they're just going to use again, right? They're gonna die anyway. So it's perfect. It's perfect for your analogy. The people that are willing to get the help will go to the hospital, right? And seek medical attention. And we should give that to them because they have hope. And the people that don't, well, they're just gonna die on the street anyway. So
Oh, shit.
Anecdotally,
Well, it's fucking nom nom time. Let's fucking go. Hey, Rage Page.
Here we go.
To think I was about to get off. The party
Oh, you're
just
about to
started.
get off, brother. Okay,
Not-
just in a
not
different
like
way.
that, you fucking queer.
How's it going, Rage?
We're good. Just yell at her.
My Chromebook, the audio doesn't work. Fuck off.
You was talking a lot of shit.
Yeah, I'm talking a lot of shit. You don't believe what you're saying. How about we
I
start
believe
there, okay?
Every 10 motherfucking toes down, everything that Witchy is saying, at least for the last couple minutes with the shit, 100%
still man it.
accurate.
Okay, yeah. So yeah. They restate it, I guess. Steal a man or restate. What do you think? What is she saying that you agree with? I guess.
I agree that, I mean, you get a chance to be rehabilitated, you get another chance, and then you get another how many fucking times it's like a puppy that refuses to not stay in the yard and constantly runs across the street. At some point, you're gonna have to put that dog on a leash. You're
Do
gonna
you
have
shoot
to
the puppy after the
restrain
third
that-
time, though?
That's what I was gonna say.
Do you kill the puppy if he runs across the street 3 times? Do you
It'll
fucking
get hit
kill
by a
him?
car. It'll get hit by a car. It'll get hit by
Right?
a
Do
car.
you? Even in your example, you put him on a leash. You don't let him get hit by the car, right? Even in your own analogy, you don't let him die.
Exactly.
You put him on a leash.
Exactly.
So then you don't
Listen,
agree
you're
with
right.
what she's saying. She's saying
You're
let them
right. You put 'em
die.
on a leash.
If you're
Or-
saying forced,
If
you're saying like forced
shut the fuck up, I'll
rehabilitation.
explain.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Exactly. Forced rehabilitation. You are physically forced to be put somewhere else away from everybody else with people who are also dealing with the same bullshit that you are. And you are to be rehabilitated until you can prove that you can function as a normal member of society without drugs. Then you can be reintroduced. Same thing that we should be doing with jails.
You understand that's
I
not what
agree with
she's
that one.
saying, though.
There's the concession.
So, like, that's a thing, but that's not what she's saying. So you don't agree with her, I guess, Rage. You have a different aspect in mind, which is like forced
So then what-
rehabilitation.
then
She's
you-
saying
okay, you-
let the puppy die.
Okay. Let them die. Yeah.
Why are you changing? Why are you?
I mean,
You're just trying to be.
It's shitty using the dog example.
You're just trying to be crazy because you just said forced rehab and now you're saying let them die. So why are you changing it to be more crazy?
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like that's a defensible position, but then I don't. Why are you like? Why would you go back to like like why? Why would you go back to let him die?
You need because you need a chance. Everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone also may have to, but after the 500th motherfucking time that we've wasted resources on trying to help someone who refuses to help themselves, I'm sorry, you gotta die. We're not gonna bring you back for the 500th and 11th time.
Okay,
Sorry.
hold, pause.
Don't do
But
drugs
what
or
happened?
get
What
help.
happened?
It's that
What
simple.
happened to the forced why wouldn't we go? You started with the forced rehab, and then somehow I convinced you to death, even though I was trying to go in the opposite direction. Why not stick with that?
All right.
If it happens after like 4 times, sure, forced rehab. Why would we be like, no, let them die? Why are you moving to that?
Because okay, so I guess it would be because you're bringing. It depends on the exact circumstance. If you're talking specifically using Narcan to bring these people back from the death that they caused to themselves, it's like someone hanging themselves. You can run over there and pull them off the rope, but when they've hung themselves every afternoon and have done everything in their power to hang themselves, at what point? I know I'm bad at examples. I'll give you that. I am bad at examples.
I actually think it's a good example. I actually think it's a good example, Rage. It proves that it's an insane thing, because even if you or someone else hung themselves 7 times, on the 8th time, you're not just gonna let the person swing. If you walk into that room, you're gonna fucking cut them down.
Right.
Everyone fucking would. 07's to Sticker Johnson.
I get that. All right. Now, listen. You're in Canada, right?
Unfortunately, in a technical sense.
All right. Just so you know, also there's about like a 5-second delay on what I say and then when you hear it. I've noticed.
Yeah, I could tell.
But,
yeah.
I'm just going to use the example of the suicide thing. So with the suicide thing, at what point
are you talking about the assisted
then you would have
suicide?
to say, okay, then we 5150 them. So regardless of the situation, you're either going to physically force people. Yeah. You're either going to be physically forcing people into that rehab state, or you let them make the mistake, you bring them back, you hope they learn, they learn over and over and over again until the inevitable happens. Either they overdose and help doesn't come, or what? Like there's no other option. It's either death or get help. You pick. But we're not going to continuously try and save your life for the rest of your life.
I hear what you're saying, but one of those options is like sane, like the forced rehab, or like the 5150ing. That's like the sane option. The insane option is let them die of an overdose or like not cut them down. I know. I understand. Yeah, some people don't agree with that.
Well, right. Well, think of it like this. Think of it like jail. You see how people fight. They fight so hard to try and, not go to jail. Imagine trying to force someone who's mentally fucked up on drugs to get help when they don't want it.
That's valid.
It's almost like a pointless fight. If you just let them do what they're gonna do, they're gonna die on their own. You could help them when you can, but it's gonna happen. So then I guess the argument for Narcan would be a pro thing at that point. Because then you just bring them back forever. Constantly make Narcan, constantly bring them back, constantly do it for the rest of their natural life, or until they don't.
I think these things should have like. I think they should have. I think it should be like a multi-pronged approach, though, right? Like we should.
People go somewhere private.
Right. I think we should bring people back, but I'm saying that's like step 1, and then we should do more. And I understand it's hard to convince like a family member or like someone you're close to through like social stuff. But if we're talking about like 5150ing with like the suicidal stuff, right? Like you don't get a choice. It's not hard to 5150 somebody if they're like, if you're the one doing it and you're like you're like a police officer or whatever. Good to see you, Avery. 07s, right? Like if you're 5150ing them, you 5150 them, right? It's not hard. You have the authority, you do it. And so if it was forced rehab, well then we would use force, we'd use an arm of the government to make these people go to rehab, right? Like I feel like you're comparing it to like the social thing of like you're trying to convince a friend or a loved one to go to rehab. I agree that could be like a Sisyphean task. Sure.
Because like the other point, you're going to force this person to get better, which is an impossible task unless you completely change their entire dynamic of their entire life and start from the beginning. Because you can put somebody in jail for 20 years, they get out and they kill somebody else. Or you put them in rehab for 5 years, they get clean, then they're free to do whatever the fuck they want and they go right back into drugs.
Right, but do you not think that would probably be more successful? Like it's not going to work for everybody. But it's the same with the 5150ing. Like, do you not think we should do that? Like, some people are going to be 5150. They're going to get out of some institution. They're going to off themselves. That's going to happen. But some people aren't going to. And the people that aren't, I mean, isn't that worth the chance?
I think it's subjective as to whether or not one is good and one is not good. I think they're both trying to go to the same conclusion, which is eliminate the drug addiction problem. And if people who haven't used start seeing, oh fuck, everyone I know is dying of fentanyl, the last thing I'm going to want to do is a drug.
Yes.
I'm gonna drop and come back and see if the lag is gone.
Yeah, there's a bit of lag. I think it's like oscillates. It feels like it's good and then it's not good. But
yeah, come back, Rage. We're not done with you.
We're not done. We're far from finished. Although I feel like we see, this is what I was saying. I think we do agree in a large way. Because
I think the potential to save one person is kind of worth that amount of effort.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and it seems like Rage agrees that like this is possible to save someone, and all the examples, it seems like, well, yeah, these can, save people's lives, and this is probably better to do the 5150 versus letting someone off themselves, and just I feel like I think she agrees that's the better option.
And plus, when you think about the people who kind of brought themselves out of that situation, it's never their first try quitting and then successfully being able to get off that. Usually it takes some rough patches and takes a person attempting it multiple times to successfully pull themselves out of that type of situation.
Right. Like that's the thing. I don't know. Yeah. The whole like 3 strike thing. I don't know. Like people, because I guess maybe that's a question I have for Rage as well. I guess like if let's say my stat was correct, which again, I haven't looked it up in a long time, but if it is like, like 12, that the average opioid addict will relapse 12 times, but it's like, but some people relapse 6 times and come out of it. So like under some 3 strike rule, they're just dead, and otherwise they're not. Christian moms against helping people, says Keelan. Yes. Well, there's a lot of stuff. Oh, Rage Page is back. Welcome back, Rage Page.
Is there still
I will say I like soft-spoken Rage Page. I don't like Rage Page. I like soft-spoken Page.
You like soft-spoken Page? We need some soft.
Calm Page, her alter ego.
For real, I have two fucking volume settings: screaming and yelling, or calmly explaining and really interested. And I want to know what you have to say.
Yeah.
There's still a.
Okay, wait. What was the question I want to? Wait, say
about a 3 strike rule, or were you?
Yeah. That's what I want to ask. So if someone, let's say, like there's obviously people, Rage, if you can hear me, that like will, let's say, relapse, let's say 5 times, or will overdose 4 times, and then there's something that happens, maybe an external change, maybe some internal thing, right? And then they are good. They end up like doing well for themselves. Like so, are those people?
I know that people can recover.
Right. So then under some like type of like 3 strike thing.
That's the nuance of la situation, is that people in and of themselves are individuals. What works for you may not work for me. What may make you not want to do drugs may make someone else want to do drugs. Like being surrounded by it, people may have a more, inclined to do it. But someone who's never around it would never try it because it's not something that's within their purview of environment. So it is difficult. I'm just giving my personal opinions on it, but I mean, I understand both points, but as someone with my own personal anecdotes and things like that, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're dead, life goes on.
I guess what I'm thinking is if you
making everyone around you struggle.
But if you understand it's so individualistic and it's so like depends on the person, then why would you ever advocate for some type of like? And I don't know how serious you were when you're like the 3 strikes, you get like 3 Narcans and then you just let them die. It's like, okay, but if you're
That's
a 10 toes downing that, no, are you something
I
you
don't like the fact that they got bans going around handing out needles, handing out alcohol wipes, and making it extremely easy to use safely. That's not what you want.
But Rage, you personally Rage, you personally know addicts in your own life, right? You've met addicts. Do you think they're going to if someone's like addicted to okay, but if someone is okay, so you've at least known them. If someone is, I mean, there's probably a reason for that, right? If you're going to use and all you have is a dirty needle, are you going to not use heroin if you're a fucking junkie and you have a dependency and an addiction? Or are you just going to do your best to clean the fucking dirty rig and fucking shoot it in your vein? Like, you're going to do it anyway. Like, it's not like by providing a clean needle and an alcohol swab, the people are not. I fucking met people that they don't even fucking use the alcohol swabs that are given to them. They'll just fucking just do it into their dirty fucking arm. People like are not okay.
People will use 1 needle across 5 different people and just wipe it off with the tip of their shirt.
Exactly.
So with that argument, the solution to that, or the only reason that that's even an issue, because these people are already dirty and probably have diseases and are already low down in life. And I mean, I'm not saying they're worth less. I'm simply saying the reason we're giving them clean needles is so they don't spread diseases amongst themselves. That's like the gay community spreading AIDS to the gay community.
Right, but okay, but even from there's like so many ways to go after this. But even from like a healthcare cost,
okay,
if someone gets like Hep C, the cost of that is like astronomical. Even if we go away from the ethics, right?
Okay, so the cost of rehabilitating someone is more than it is to just either 1, die, or 2, enable their behavior. The cheaper option would be the other options rather than rehabilitation. So then what's the point of that? Are we talking about money or are we talking about people's lives? Which is priceless.
I mean, my main argument is people's lives. Well, I don't know how you're saying it's priceless if you're saying you're going to put a cap on like 3 Narcans or like not giving out clean needles and stuff. Because
it's not my life. It's not my life. That's your life. You don't give a fuck about.
I'm sorry. I thought you said they're priceless. When you said that, did you just mean my life is priceless, but other people's lives have a fixed cost? Because when you said lives are priceless, I didn't think you just meant your own life. I thought you just meant like all the lives.
Well, let's get into the point of life is worth something. So with that concept that I believe everyone can agree on, that life has a purpose. There's a meaning to it. There's a reason why people aren't just killing themselves every day. Because as a species, we believe, regardless of your religion, creed, or whatever the fuck you live by, life has intrinsic value. Why am I saving? Why am I wasting my time saving lives of people doing drugs instead of saving the lives of the babies that people don't see value in, that they murder every day through abortion?
What are you saying? Like, what? First of all, it's not like an either or, obviously. What the fuck are you talking about? But also, it's like, yeah, those people that are wasting, they have value under what you just said. So why would it be bad to try to save their lives? And again, it's not an either or that like you either are pro-life or you help the addicts, and you have to choose one. Choose well, Mr. Man. Like, what the fuck?
Listen, Linda. Listen.
Keelan changed his avatar, or is this a Keelan? Is this a Keelan fake? I'm not sure. They're different names. Does Keelan use alts? Is he an alt user? I'm not sure.
Probably.
Or it's Anson. It could be the return of Anson again. Hard to say. Sorry, go ahead, Linda.
So what I'm getting at is the fact that at what point, like, okay, so the reason why I connected the two was that, okay, in the abortion argument, it's my body, my choice is the argument there. It's like, I can do what I want with my body and no one can tell me otherwise. Now, with the addict's perspective of that is, I can do drugs if I want. It's my body, my choice. I can put whatever the fuck I want in it. It's not your business. It's not your problem. With that mentality, I just don't understand why people are so dead set on trying to force people to want to help themselves. I feel like there's always some ulterior motive. Well, this is cheaper if we do it this way. Oh, this is a patch on the problem, so we don't have to renovate the entire building. Like that's what it seems like to me. Yes, people want to help those who can't help themselves, like the elderly and things like that, or babies. I get that. But if a functioning everyday adult has a problem,
they're not though. They're not. Rage Page, you say you've known addicts. You say you know addicts and you say most of them are dead, then you know that they're probably not like functioning, right? They probably don't have like full agency. They're probably not like who they're meant to be, right? They were at one point, sure, not when they're fucking addicts. If you think about it, right? They're probably not super functional. Like these people that we're talking about with like when Witchy and AVG are talking about people copulating the streets, which I don't think happens very often, to be clear. But if you're fucking homeless and you're drunk and you're shooting up on the corner, you're probably not incredibly functional in any normal definition of that word. So you're not that kind of person. You're not like someone making a logical, sane choice.
Okay. So then now it all comes down to force. Do we force these people to take accountability for their actions and get the help they need and change to be better? Or do we force them into a situation where they do not have a choice but to not use?
I'm fine with
the more ethical route.
If you're like I said, I'm already like I'm okay with there's like some maybe caveats, but I'm not like when you say the reason I said I'd rip your ovaries out in Minecraft was because of the death thing. Like if you're just like arguing for like forced rehab, yeah, like I don't have a problem with that. Like that's like something that there's maybe nuance there, but that's like a humane position. You were saying before, just let them fucking die. I think that's crazy, and I said I don't think you felt that way, and it seems like you don't feel that way, which is good.
But if you're going to go off of a humane aspect, why not just let them pass on when they OD? Why bring them back?
Because that's not humane. Because they're humans, and like you said, humans have value. Humans have value. Human lives. You said this.
Bring them back.
To the possibility of recovery. It's not like they're destined to be addicts forever.
That's like somebody committing suicide, and you're like,
I know, but you said that was a bad analogy. You said, I'm sorry, Rage. You said that was a bad analogy because I asked you, would you actually stand there? It's the third time the guys hung themselves, and you walk in, and you're just gonna sit there and watch them die, or are you gonna cut them down? And you said, oh yeah, that's a bad analogy because you fucking know you'd cut them down because any fucking non-sociopath is going to cut them down.
Well, no. Realistically, after the first time, maybe after the second time, I probably would never associate with you again because there's something seriously fucked up with you that is not my responsibility to help.
Maybe, but I'm saying if you walked in and put yourself in the moment, I don't care if it's happened 10 times. You're the first one that for some reason you tried to avoid them, and you end up walking in. You're not going to. You wouldn't fucking do that. I know you would. And you know you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't. You know that. I know that.
Well, let me try this argument.
You to a gurney.
You would cut them down and then try to 5150 them, which is what you should do, by the way. If someone's tried to off themselves 3 times, you should cut them down and you should get them fucking 5150.
That type of force.
You just were arguing for forced rehab. What the fuck are you talking about? How do you argue for forced rehab if you're against 5150s? Well, argue what you actually think, Rage Page. Go ahead,
hard
Big
to
Soda.
argue with
Sorry.
what I actually think because the other side is more logical.
Look, let's go down this line of argumentation. Rage, let's say you have a canister of Narcan on you. For some reason, you have it on you, and you see someone on the ground and they're overdosing and they're dying. Do you walk past them and not use it, or do you use it?
I'd probably give it to somebody else to use it.
Coward. Scoundrel.
I don't believe
That's
in-
crazy. It's kind of like,
I know,
because let's take those 3 steps away. I would do it every time. I would bring that person back every time.
Let's be clear.
Based. Fucking red pilled.
I mean, let's be clear. I have Narcan. I have used Narcan on someone. It's not a good
Based.
experience. They're very angry with you when you bring them back. They're pissed off at you. They want nothing to do with you because you made them waste their drugs because they wanted to die. Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Now that's
But
anecdotal.
you did a good thing though, Rage. You know you did a good
I'll
thing. It
never
doesn't
do
matter
it
if you
again.
don't get
I'll never do it
appreciation.
again.
That's fucked up. You shouldn't. You're black pill yourself. You did a fucking. You saved someone's life. If you have done this, you have saved someone's life.
I know, but I don't think that way. I don't think it that way. I think if you caused something to
You
happen, and
did.
it wasn't an accident. You know,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if someone hangs themselves, it's obviously intentional.
I'm gonna punch you and kill you.
That's
whatever.
That's them hurting. That's them hurting you. That's them hurting you. I'm saying.
If you
I know. I understand. Yeah, but that's.
I may forgive you.
Yeah, but that's someone hurting you. I'm saying, but if someone, you at least agree, if someone is trying to hang themselves and you cut them down, you've saved their life in that moment. They might try to do it again. In that moment, you save their fucking life. That's just boots on the ground facts, right? Like that's facts.
Now the reason why I'm not gonna say nothing to that is because of the just the fact of like I don't think you can compare that with drugs. I think someone who uses actively. I understand that it's affecting your brain and your body's addicted. It's like an alcoholic can't just stop drinking one day, out of cold turkey because they could die. So I understand, but the amount of people that's their situation, and then the amount of people who actively use because that's the lifestyle they chose to put themselves in and surround themselves with and continue throughout their 30s, their 40s, into their 50s if they make it that long. They're just habitual drug users. 90% of the time, those same people have caused more harm to society than they will ever be able to give back to society if they are rehabilitated. Depending on the
understand.
age, depending on the location.
No, I get that.
It's
but
all
how many people, do you think if you saw your life from or if these junkies or anyone, if you saw your life from a macro point of view, do you think people are choosing, especially the real down bad junkies that are do you think they actually are that's what I want for my life? When I was young, growing up, I wanted to be a fucking junkie that's stealing from people, lying to people. Do you actually think that? That's what people want? Yeah, tell me what you think.
I think that at some point in these people's lives, something happened to them to where they did not want to feel life anymore. They wanted to either numb themselves, bring back, okay. So you agree with that?
I agree with that. Yeah.
Is that a choice?
No, not really. I mean, it's
how is that not a choice?
It's volitional, but I'm saying
they had to actively choose. Unless
I understand, but it's not a free.
With a fucking heroin needle,
I get it. I get what you're saying. I know, but let's say someone is essayed as a kid, and then because of that they end up turning to drugs. It's a choice in the sense that it's possible they could have chosen otherwise, but they were choose to have that initial thing happen, and that led them to then go down this other road. So I understand there's a point where you were the one choosing to do this thing, but it's also do you agree it's less of a choice? If you compare it to someone who's happy, go lucky, nothing bad's ever happened to them, and they're just you know what? I'm going to become a fucking junkie. Do you agree that's more of a choice if you do that than if you're really fucking messed up from past trauma and you do something? That's at least less of a choice, even if you're the same person sticking the needle in your arm in both cases.
I reject that whole premise. because
How?
it's neither there.
How?
Because it's neither here nor there. Rich people have more access to it and tend to do the uppers, and the down bad people who don't have anything going for them tend to do the downers. So it's a moot point at that aspect of it, because that makes no sense either way, whether it's all circumstantial.
No, that's not. No, you just said, we just agreed that the people that are using these downers are probably trying to like numb things. Rich people using cocaine are just trying to like get fucked up and like, feel good.
Right. Is cocaine is cocaine a gateway drug then? Does one person start with heroin and then do cocaine, or does most drug addicts who are down bad have done a multitude of different ones, regardless of the upper or the downer?
Sure, but then you find what they call, right, in the business, your drug of choice, right? Something is going to hit you, it's going to fulfill that need that you have, right? And if you're trying to like numb stuff, that's probably going to be some type of downer, and that's going to hit you in a certain way, and you're like, oh, this is now, even subconsciously, you're like, this is what I need to get by.
Now, do you agree that they had a choice in whether or not they should do drugs to try and help themselves, or go and receive help that we are inevitably, whatever the fuck, however you say that word, going to have to treat them later on in life?
It's always like it's always a choice
later in life for the drug addicts.
I'll answer your question, but I want you to answer mine. Yeah, well, no, not in Canada. In America, I did, but not in Canada. We have like similar stuff that's like basically the same thing. Fuck dare for real. But it's like I will answer your question. Like, it is obviously a choice. Again, you're the one. If you're like sticking a needle in your arm, or you're sticking coke up your nose, it's your choice to do this. But I'm asking you, is it the same choice if someone, let's say they grow up in like foster care, they're abused, and then at like 15 they decide to like use cocaine? That's a choice, but I'm saying, is that the same amount? Would you say that? Do you see choice as just binary? Is that the same as like rich kid who grows up, never suffered a day really in his life, and then when he's 25, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna party with my rich fucking, friends and do cocaine. Is that the same degree of choice? Because I would say they're both choices, but we're fucking being super reductionistic if we're going to pretend those are the same levels of like volition, that they're using the same amount of free will in both cases. One obviously has less free will than the other.
See, but I disagree. I don't think it has any. They're both the same. You made a choice, regardless of your situation. You had an option to choose. There was not a gun to your head to shoot up that drug. There was not a gun to your head to go and try cocaine.
No, but even your examples, even if you have a gun to your head, it's still a choice. It's still a choice. If you have a gun to your head, you could just say, pull the fucking trigger, bitch. That's still a choice. It's just you're being coerced in some way. And I feel like if you understand that, you should be able to understand what I'm saying. You're coerced in other ways.
Like in law, if somebody's getting arrested and they say, or somebody's getting pulled over and they're like, show me your ID. No, I don't have to identify myself. You identify yourself or you go to jail. Okay, under duress, here's my identification. That's unlawful. You're doing it under duress. It's a totally different category of what's going on. I'm talking about addicts who the majority of addicts have had a time in their life where they started for the very first time they tried whatever their drug is. Regardless of the drug, regardless of why they decided to try it, they still did. I've never hated myself enough to want to put a drug in my body. I barely take Tylenol because I don't like not being me. I don't want to poison myself accidentally even. So just the mere fact that they actively made the decision to do something with the knowledge that what they are doing can cause an avalanche of after effects, they need to take responsibility. Not blame the world, not blame the trauma, not blame, whatever fucking excuse they have. Stop being weak-willed, weak-minded individuals. Man up to your mistakes and change it, or don't. And stay weak-willed, and you will be treated as the weak-willed individual that you are. Based.
Okay, Ray. Let me see if I'll tackle this from a different angle. So, from my understanding, you think lives are intrinsic. Where do you get that from? Like, what's your understanding of that?
I've got two views. I can argue both sides. I don't want to get into the feely dealies of the situation, because at the end of the day, it's kind of irrelevant, because there's always going to be death. There's always going to be suffering. There's always going to be someone who's going to survive over someone else. So at the end of the day, on a macro scale, life is a very fragile system we got going on. We kill people for crimes, we bomb people for resources, but then we cry and throw a fit when Billy doesn't have free health insurance.
Yeah. I guess just like, but where does the intrinsicness of where does the value of life come from?
From God.
Like, what's your understanding from God? Okay, so you would appeal to his principles, correct? So if his principles outweighed your judgment and this understanding, which one would you appeal to? Do you appeal to people just gotta suck it up and suffer the consequences, or would you appeal to God's principle?
I would appeal to suck it up and deal with the consequences, because that's just.
Okay, so that would outweigh your understanding of like theology and I guess principles we get from our belief.
Where are you going with this?
I guess where I'm going with this is because you would say you commit sin, correct?
As does everyone else, correct?
Correct. And you would say that God laid his life down for you to be freed of this sin, even though you keep committing it. No matter what you do, you keep falling back into it. So you keep having to be forgiven. And so if this principle also lines up, with.
So if we take it off of that, if we go off of like that way of thinking, isn't it, more likely for non-Christians to go down that evil path of poisoning their bodies?
That's correct. I would
so
think
then
so.
So then there you go. I'm talking about the non-gods people, like outside of religion, just as a whole, just the mentality of people as we know it.
But I guess I could also say that there are probably people who are active believers who are also in those situations. So should we save them?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we should have a system that saves one, but not the other, just based on their belief.
I think we should have the system like it used to be, where the church was the community and the community was the church, and the church would take in offerings and donations and give to the community in return. And it was that type of system instead of Goodwill charging $20 for a used t-shirt.
So you'd be fine with the church going around and using their resources to do the same action that we're paying through the government.
Exactly. That's what I think it should be. I think it should be personal. It should be community-based. It should be amongst people who genuinely care about your well-being, all joining together under God, trying to help this person navigate through what life is. And life is suffering. Life is enduring the elements, enduring the whole fucking aspect of being alive. And during that time, you make choices. You have the choices in front of you. You have people to help you, guide you to the right choices. But at the end of the day, it's their choice. You cannot force someone to believe in God, just like you can't force someone to get off of drugs.
No, but you can choose when to save, I guess, someone who has the image of God made inside them.
I get what you're saying, but I think the system that would work the best is if the church. It's hard because now it's not like that anymore. Now you got a Catholic church down the street from a synagogue down the street from a Muslim temple, and half the people in your town hate you because of your religion. The other half are on your side, but not the same side because they're Orthodox and you're Protestants, so it's like everyone has their own small little groups and pockets amongst the society. And I think that's what's caused a lot of issue, is that there is no more baseline unity. It's every man for themselves, or my family versus your family. It's or my religion versus your religion. It's all no. It seems like it's almost impossible for unlike-minded people to congregate and live peacefully. It's like you have to, like a group of black people aren't going to help the smaller group of white people because the white people are richer than they are, because it's a mentality aspect, it's a cultural aspect, it's a nowadays concept, if you will, because it's something that is media driven most of the time. That's where the conversation about, all the hip hop music with their drug and crime references and topics, you're kind of almost indoctrinated into a system that tells you life sucks, life's miserable, but look how fun this shit is, look how awesome this is, oh, this was great, and so you feed into that instead of it being advertised to you as this is a great way to live, going to church and waking up in the nuclear family was propagated in the 50s, that was pushed onto that generation. This generation is being pushed with just a mix of horrible shit, vices, and just lust and greed and selfishness, that it's almost ingrained in us at a young age, to where no wonder people are just doing drugs. Either you come from a shitty situation, like in the 60s, people were out in war and coming home from Vietnam, and people were doing it then too. It's not like this is new, but it's the reasons why people are doing it. Just like cigarettes, less people are smoking cigarettes. That's because it was propagated to us that
that's because of fucking sins, Rage Page.
What's the alternative?
So cool.
I will be honest, alcohol is going the same way with the new
smoke
generation.
Black American spirits and vape.
Based, not the vaping part, but the Black American spirits.
I'm worried that we're coming close to a turning point, either culturally, societally, or whateverly. I think that we're coming to a point to where a lot of us are starting to notice how bad it's getting. Yes, we want everyone to be happy. Yes, we want everybody to be able to live a fulfilling life. Yes, we want all of these things, but there's going to be a cost. Yes, we want gay people to feel like they're not some stricken down minority, but no, we do not want you walking around our grocery stores in a G-string. Thank you very much. There's unless that is what you want, and then now it's at the cost.
It's 2026.
It's at the cost of everyone else that does it. It seems like it's a society is a confluence, if you will, of all these different beliefs and how I feel and what I want and what I need, and people are so materialistic nowadays and attention seeking nowadays that whatever gets them the most attention is what they do. If going online and debating people get you attention, you're going to do that a lot. If doing drugs with the gangsters down the street, robbing stores and shooting people get you street cred, you're going to go do that, because it's dependent on what your situation is. You're always going to want to be the, upper lie to be, and the people who can't get there from whatever reason tend to just fall further and further back. But then now it's come to the point to where now I feel obligated to throw the person in the water my life jacket as the ship is sinking. No, motherfucker, this is my life jacket. I'm sorry. But then again, if I have room on the boat, yeah, get on the boat. We'll save you. If I don't have room on the boat, I'm sorry.
But no one's asking that, I would say, if I can jump back into this, right? No one's asking anyone.
Well, nobody was talking
hey, I'm sorry. I want to jump back in. I want to jump back in.
This is an A and B conversation. See your way out of it before D jumps over E and F's you up.
Wow.
See how peaceful our conversation was? She didn't yell at me.
Doesn't sound peaceful. Well, I guess that's the word me.
Yell that.
I could never yell.
Look, I have to segue out. I have a heart out in 2 minutes, and you guys have been freaking,
All right, go ahead. I'll listen. Go ahead.
Okay. Now
I won't
I
yell.
can't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, I was saying yeah. Okay, no, I would say no one's asking that. If you had to like sacrifice your own life for a junkie, right? No one's saying that. Like to bring it back, to try to like do the little weave and close it out a bit. I would say no one's asking that. And if they were, I would say yeah, that's crazy. But like in these situations, if we're talking to go back to the original thing about like the Narcan or cutting someone down and all this stuff, right? Like those are costing you some small amount, some pittance to save a life, right? No one's saying if you need the Narcan for some reason, you should actually give it to the homeless junkie. No one would say that, right?
All right. I get what you're saying, but the argument comes into play with the Narcan is not saving a life. Narcan is giving them another chance to make a better choice.
Right. I agree with that.
And when they refuse to make that better choice, why are you going to keep doing that if the inevitable is going to happen? Do you just do it until inevitably it does happen because it makes you feel better?
No, because the inevitable doesn't always happen. Some people do change their life, right? It's not like we have stats that say if you bring someone back from Narcan, just no one will ever. They will just all continue to use opioids until they fucking die.
I get you. Yeah. No, I get you. So then, how many chances do we give them? Do we play God and give them unlimited lives?
I don't know if that's playing God. Like with the cutting down example, the only thing with Narcan is like, again, if you want to make a fiscal argument, I get that. But if like, let's say Narcan was like somehow free or like it was a couple pennies, yeah, I would just be fucking walking down the street, fucking stabbing all the fucking junkies every day. I'd fucking do it. Just stab, right? Like, why not? Give people a chance, right? Unless you're saying like, again, if you have to buy the Narcan and you're like running out of money, I'm not saying you should like put yourself into debt to like save all these junkies or anything like that. But in the same way that, yeah, anytime you walk in, if you walk in on somebody for the 100th time, you should cut them down from that noose. You shouldn't just walk away. It's never the right decision to just close the door and let them fucking hang to death.
So this will be my last point. I think what it comes down to is being from New Orleans and seeing Narcan passed out like candy, along with all the necessary clean rigs and tools needed to safely do this horrible activity. It has escalated to the point to where they are everywhere, out in the open, doing wherever they want, because there's people walking around in the public, passing them out tools, making sure they can come back to life so they can do it again tomorrow. There is no set mentality on, oh God, thank you for bringing me back, I'm going to change. So it becomes now a safe haven for other junkies from Boston, from Los Angeles, from Houston.
No, that's every city. That's every major. All the cities.
Now they're all
the cities you name. All the cities you named. They hand out. No, they don't. All the cities you named, literally every single city you named, hands out exactly what you said is handed out in New Orleans. There's nothing special about New Orleans. Why would it be a safe haven? They hand out in all those cities.
I'm not saying that, Confluence. I'm saying the cities. I'm using my city as an anecdotal reference because that's where I am, where I can prominently see it for myself. All the cities.
I thought you were saying they were flocking to New Orleans.
New York City is horrible. No, they're flocking to the cities where it's handed out like candy. Nobody's going to go out into an open countryside and shoot up heroin with no Narcan available.
I don't know if people are going. I don't know if junkies care that much about their lives to go where the Narcan is. I don't know if that's a realistic scenario.
They do. You'd be surprised.
People go where the drugs are. People are not going to move their lives to get a hold of Narcan, especially if you can like get it online. Well, usually in the cities, but I think that's incidental to the Narcan. Right. The Narcan is where the drugs are. It's like you and Witchy have this thing where you're like reversing the causation. City. I know, but it's not. The drugs are in the city because of the Narcan. The Narcan's in the city because of the drugs, right? Like that's the thing.
Right.
So Narcan's not the problem because they're big metropolitan areas where. They're big metropolitan areas where people can panhandle easily. There's a lot of like people that you can survive in this. You can be homeless. It's not just junkies. That's like there's more homeless people in like urban areas than rural areas. You can panhandle easier. There's more like resources you can access. You're not going to go to some like small ass town if you're like fucking
enabling.
homeless. I mean, I
Sounds like
guess.
enabling.
Yeah, but I'm not even meaning that. I just mean like unless you're gonna. Well, there is laws against panhandling, but just in general. There's more places you can get. There's CVS close by. There's Subway, so you can get your fentanyl footlong sandwich. There's a lot of like conveniences, even beyond like the enabling, right? And you can't stop people from giving money to homeless people. You can make panhandling illegal, but people are starting to do that. So they're all going to flock to the cities. That's an unavoidable problem.
I just think I find it interesting that as I sit right here, as I'm sitting right here. And I have no history of drug use. I've never done drugs. But let's say right here, right now, I decide and make the choice. Let's say I broke up with my boyfriend or a family member died or whatever the situation is that has traumatized me to where, fuck this, I need to feel instant relief. Where am I going to go to get drugs? The city. What am I going to make sure I have that's very readily available? Narcan. So now I'm fully enabled to do this drug that is supposed to be horrifically outcasted from society. It should be shameful to be on drugs. It shouldn't be popular. It is cool.
It's not popular. No one is shooting heroin and being like, man, I'm so cool. And I'm like, everyone respects me. There is shame, obviously, with that. I mean, no one is.
I don't know, man.
And I don't think many people are turning. I don't think many people are turning to drugs because of Narcan. Like you're trying to like take it in that direction because you're thinking as a clear-headed person. And if you are going to use heroin, you would probably get Narcan and you would do it in a safe environment and you would clean your needle and use a little alcohol swab. But you probably know a lot of junkies don't. Like you said it that they'll rub the fucking needle off and pass it to 5 different people. Like they're not. They're not thinking like you're thinking. They're not thinking. I'm going to get my Narcan. I'm going to get my alcohol swab. No one's thinking that.
Users. We should be focusing on preventing people from using, not enabling those who already use. People should fear using drugs.
They already do. They
feel safe using drugs.
No one feels safe. I think people feel safe using it. I don't think the Narcan is like.
I think they do. I'd feel a hell of a lot more safe using drugs if I knew I had somebody with me with Narcan who could instantly bring me back if something were to go wrong.
Yes. If you were with somebody that you trusted to use the Narcan and you trusted they were going to do it right. That's a lot of what ifs. I just don't know if there's a sizable. I know it is, but they're junkies though. I mean, I know, but do you trust the junkies? Like we talked about this last time, the junkies fucking flee usually when an overdose happens. I mean, if it's somebody you love and that cares about you, sure. If it's like your fucking husband or boyfriend, yeah, I'm hoping they're gonna fucking save your ass. But I don't know. Like again, in certain cases, sure. Okay, but accomplice is a hard out. This is a good talk though. I'm glad I brought you up. And you know what? I'll let you keep your ovaries today. How about that, Rage Page? That's how much I care about you. You can keep your ovaries. Not necessarily next time. This is a one-time pass. You get 3 strikes. On the 3rd strike, I do take your ovaries from you. Okay, how about that?
And on the 3rd strike, I rip your balls off and I throw them in the trash because I don't eat balls because I'm not gay.
Hey, that's fair. I like as Kirk wants, the genders to be equal. I agree. So 07s, you guys, we're probably not going to do a part 3 of this because I feel like Witchy is kind of you have like maybe a 10-second thing to say, Kirk, because it's a hard out like 7 minutes ago.
What do you call a
joke? That's fine.
What do you call a fake noodle?
What?
An impasta.
Impasta.
That is certainly a joke. It's not peeping Tom. It's hard to get to that level, Kirk. That one's in your type 5, but that's fine. God bless you guys. God bless you, chat, and thank you to Sticker Johnson supporting the channel. W Testy. Okay, and take care. We'll be live tomorrow, of course. Don't know what we're going through, but that's fine. Okay. Thank you, Paige, for coming up. Sincerely, I did want to talk to you about this, so I appreciate it. And God bless you, Kirk. God bless you, Paige. Take care. Love you.